All right, here we are once again. Aloha to all of the beautiful dreamers, shifters, co-creators out there within this holographic matrix. This is Brendon, and you are listening, you are tuned in, you are hearing the broadcast for another Paradigm Shift Central team building hangout that we have going on. Now, of course, this is being recorded as a video hangout, and it's also being recorded for MP3 audio convenience. So shout out to everybody wherever they are and whenever they are listening to this. And of course, this is another opportunity for us as a team to come together to talk about where consciousness is at, what things we're working on, and a little bit more that I'll get into as we get through things. But before we do that, let's just get all of the beautiful people who are with me here tonight to unmute their microphones and say hello to the world. So say hello to the internet, everyone.
Hello, Internet!
Hello, internet. Whee!
Aloha.
Ohio.
Awesome.
Hi, guys.
So we have about
Hello.
10 people in the hangout with us tonight, and just going from left to right, I'll just mention their names real quick. We have AJ, we have Angela, we have Breezy, we have Maria, who doesn't have a microphone. We have DJ, who may have a microphone. We have Michael Brazel. We have Shane from the UK. Some of you will remember him. We have Rainey, who I think is reporting in from Brazil-ish, I believe, and Zoe, who some of you will recognize as well. And of course, as I mentioned, my name is Brendon, and I'm from London, Ontario, Canada. So just at the top of the show, those of you who might not be too familiar with this is related around the Paradigm Shift Central project, which is about creating conscious media and physical paradigm shift communities and encouraging people to take action, to use their voice, to engage with community, and to do what they can to help accelerate the shift in consciousness, and in particular building physical paradigm shift communities that have regular open-minded discussion meditation. So the main website has been under some major renovations and upgrades, and I'll get more into that later, but there's some really exciting things. The shift buttons are available through the main website again. That's like a big thing, and you can find them almost on any page. There's the access to the main map that I'll get you guys filling out the form for, and I'll get more into the detail about that later. There's some new media that's going to be going online. There's a new video that I'm going to be releasing soon that's going to be a 2006 Evolution Challenge, and also a new video that I'm doing related to 7 conscious themes within the Star Wars The Force Awakens. And so yeah, I want to be able to just go over with you guys some of the website stuff, but before I do that, since time is of the essence, we're going to pass the talking stick around to some of our friends who are already here. We're going to pass it over to Rainey and then AJ, and we'll just get them to introduce themselves. And again, you know, if people are listening to this, this is about building a team. This is about being able to document the real life story of the shift in consciousness through sharing our own experiences. So if you're listening to this in the future and you're thinking, wow, this is really cool, then know that you can totally be involved with this, and you can join in for future team hangouts. And to begin, go to paradigmshiftcentral.com and sign up for the website there. And again, that's a platform for you to be able to share your conscious media and a lot of other awesome stuff. So with that said, we'll pass it over to Rainey first. And as a slight introduction, Rainey's been on a few episodes of Paradigm Shift Radio in the past, and he's also a YouTuber. He's got like close to like 25,000 subs, and he's been making videos on the regular, and often they relate around diet, related around his own personal experiences with food and veganism, and we'll get him just to introduce himself. So Rainey, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead, dude.
Hey, everybody. Coming from Brazil.
Awesome. So, Rainey, just to preface again, just share with the people, now that you got the talking stick, who you are, where you're from, and what some of your interests are in, what you're doing to help assist in the shift in consciousness, be it art, be it community, and how you're feeling right now would be the other question that we're rolling with. So with that said, I'll pass it over to you, and I'll mute myself.
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel called Symbiotic Solutions, which is focusing on, in the past, largely diet, plant-based, mostly high-raw vegan foods. But now I'm trying to sort of branch out to all the symbiotic solutions that we can be engaging in to change the world, all the shifty stuff, all the everything, you know. There's so many things other than diet that are very important. I do believe diet is one of the most important aspects, especially today with the amount of environmental destruction that is happening because of our dietary habits, but I think there are equally important things to be focusing on, such as social issues and Monsanto, growing our own food, getting out of the sort of paradigm that we are in, and becoming more sustainable in all sorts of ways, and just closer to happiness, closer to being humane, real human beings. So when it comes to the way I feel, I think that's a really good thing to be focusing on always, especially now in 2016, is less thinking, more feeling, more meditative thought process, more connection with the present, and just feeling, using your senses, being aware of what's happening in reality. So yeah, I want to thank you again. I do have to leave pretty soon. I'm obviously broadcasting from bed in Brazilish. So yeah, I think that's me.
Cool, man. Yeah, just since I know you gotta leave, just maybe like one sort of question, just like related to like your YouTube stuff. What intentions do you have for the future of like your conscious media, and maybe any tips that you have related to creating conscious media, since it's something you've been getting a lot of experience with as well?
Just do it. First of all, I think there's a lot of sort of hesitation when it comes to broadcasting yourself on YouTube and stuff. There's a lot of haters. There's a lot of just sort of most people have a sort of a perfectionist mindset that they think that they need to have a perfect video before they ever make a video. They need to become invincible before they broadcast themselves. But it's a learning experience, and just I think coming from the heart always, and just being who you are, and that's what people want to see. People want to see real people. They want to connect with people. They don't want to see these perfect gods that have never made a mistake in their life. They want to connect and just be yourself. I mean, it's simple as that. But also, yeah, I think that's probably the most important stuff right there.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, we'll let you go since I know you got places to be. But yeah, I definitely just like talking to you personally, like I do want to definitely just say again that I'd love to be able to help get your media out to like a wider audience, because I think you do a really good job like with the content that you're creating, like the quality of it, and obviously like the message is really important. And like I said, like keeping it real is really important, and I like that within the video that you posted like a couple weeks ago, like you kind of posted a video of you sort of like showing your vulnerability, yet like that is also sharing your journey, which I think is like what makes it's not just one video, it's people who are tuning in and they see that progression from video to video is like a really valuable thing to build a relationship with the audience. So yeah, man, I just wanted to say like thanks again for doing those videos. They're really awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, honestly, the transparency is one of the most important things. Just be transparent with your audience, be who you are, and that's what people want. They want real human being, real connection with people, and yeah, just since actually starting to be transparent, I've seen shifts not only within myself but within the community that I'm broadcasting to, that I'm a part of. More people are being more transparent. More people are, because when we have these things that we're hiding, we never get to learn from them, and other people don't get to learn from them, and then these become these taboo things that's the elephant in the room, but nobody's talking about them. So yeah, transparency is huge in every aspect of our lives. We need to be more open and transparent for sure. But yeah, thank you very much, and you guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for inviting me, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Looking forward to getting to chat more in the future. But until next time, let's see you then.
Solutions.
Cool. And I'll put people's links into the show notes for you as well. So we'll sync that up. Cool. All right. Okay. Later, man. Peace out.
Later. Peace, I guess.
Cool. So Rainey's YouTube is Symbiotic Solutions. If you guys want to search on that, you can find it if you're just like can remember that in the meantime. But for those who are listening to this and those of you who are in it, remember that we do have the show notes included through the main Paradigm Shift Central link. So again, if you go to paradigmshiftcentral.com and find the Hangout for January 7th, then just scroll down and you'll find the show notes, and that's where you'll find Rainey's link to his YouTube and to his Facebook and anything else that's relevant in that sense. So yeah, Rainey's got some really cool stuff, and in terms of like conscious media, like again, that is like a huge part of what this platform is about. You know, like for the people listening to this and for you guys in the chat, like that's kind of been one thing that I've been able to observe within this whole project is that it's there's sort of become this issue with online media where we still have like our major media outlets. Like there's certain Facebook pages which seem to be like the main control of like what people are watching and things like that. And then for other people who have a voice and a message to share, it may be challenging for them to like get their voice out to a global audience, to a bigger audience. So that's the design of this project, is to be able to help all of us share a global audience through the main website. So again, like it's more than just like one person. This is about like all of us being able to create together, and as the website continues to streamline, your guys' audience, your guys' content will be seen by like thousands and thousands of people as it continues to grow. But I'll explain more about that as we get into it. I want to be able to pass the mic over to AJ, because I know AJ has to head out in a little bit too, and he sounded like he had some big news that he wanted to share with us. And AJ's been around with Paradigm Shift for more than a few years now, I'd say. But AJ, we'll pass it over to you, and you can you know, again, say who you are, where you're from, what you're doing to help assist in the shift in consciousness, and how you're feeling as well. So AJ, if you're ready, go ahead.
What's up, guys? How are we doing? I'm AJ. Just moved up here to New York from Orlando. It's been a crazy year for me. I had set out some intentions at the beginning, really, of last year because I wanted to do some more stuff involved with Paradigm Shift and wanted to do free hugs and things like that. And I went up to New York on vacation and really didn't have an opportunity to connect the way I wanted to. Come to find out, like, things started shifting in a way to where I ended up having a job opportunity and took a chance and moved up here. Since then, there's been a lot of synchronistic moments in the whole situation, but last week in particular, I ran into a guy that was also doing, I've done a free hugs up here, didn't record it or anything, but just went out to do it for myself and got a good response from it. But last week, I met a guy that he was just holding a sign and it said free hugs, and his name was David, and I went up to him and he was talking to somebody else. And I was like, hey man, you know, like, what's going on? I see you have the free hug sign, you know, I'm kind of interested in how you got started with it. And he got in contact with the first, I forgot what the guy's name, but the person that started their free hugs in 2002, had a sit down interview, and he's trying to start a consciousness group in New York. And we sort of exchanged numbers, and so there's an interview that's going to be going down. And I told him about, because I showed him my Paradigm Shift radio shirt, which is extremely useful. And so I connected him with Paradigm Shift Central, which will be getting in contact with you, Brendon, pretty soon. And just like jumping on board and actually like, it's like the intention I set out is finally coming to fruition, and I'm starting to do a lot more in the community. So this year has been, last year I would say was a year of change and about experiencing, and now the feeling is starting to come in. So I like how the theme is more about the feeling, and it's a beautiful thing. It's something that I'm super excited for. It's crazy how the situation happened, but everything happens for a reason, and it was just like, it was living in a moment, I think, is one of my things as well. Not worrying about, you know, tomorrow, but just worried about the moment for right now. So that's some of the stuff that I have going on. So just wanted to send that out there.
Cool, man. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Since I know you have to get going in
Yeah, I got like
soon,
2 minutes.
soon enough. Okay, so any intentions that you want to share for yourself and maybe just for community and globally?
Uh, my intention for myself is just to be true to myself, to not get caught up in it's keeping positive, fears that come up, because there's a lot of things that I don't maybe understand a lot with the media. Uh, just letting those fears go and just embracing it and taking it as a learning experience. So that's what it is.
Is AJ? I think we might have lost AJ right at the end there. So that's all right. Yeah. Well, AJ, if he comes back, we'll hear from him again. But regardless, that's exciting. That's exciting to hear from him. So looks like and again, I'll include his information into the show notes. And he's in New York, so if anybody's in New York, then that'd be a good person to get in touch to. And yeah, I could sync up with him and do some free hugs and stuff together. So looks like we got a few more people who have joined us in the live chat. We have Chase, and we also have Christopher, who is joining us. And I don't know if people can hear it, but he's got a crazy-ass mustache right now, so... Awesome. Well, guys...
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It does look fantastic. Chris, you can comment. Do a mic check. Unmute yourself, Chris, just to make sure.
Hello.
Hello.
How do I sound?
As beautiful.
Do I sound as good as all you guys look?
Oh, right back at you, man. Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Well, at this point in the Hangout, we can sort of invite anyone. So yeah, okay, AJ dropped out. It's really up to anyone who kind of wants to go next in terms of introductions and stuff. And maybe since Chris is unmuted, that could be like a cue for him to go next. Since we've heard from a couple other people who have been here before and stuff. But we'll have to get over to Shane at some point because sooner or later it's going to be like 5 a.m. for him. So.
I'm
but
up
yeah.
all night. Don't worry about it. I'm up all night.
Okay.
I've got this.
Okay. Cool. Well, Chris, yeah, I mean, I know this is your first team hangout, but just as an introduction, Chris is a good buddy of mine who's been involved with Paradigm Shift London for quite a few years now. And yeah, Chris, we're just kind of doing introductions in terms of like who we are, where we are, maybe what we're interested in, and then what we're doing to help assist in the shift. And again, that can be like little things, that can be big things, that can be art, that can be community, that can be like a conversation you have with someone at work, or it can be like something you're reading or any research you're doing, and then how you're feeling. And then that would be a good introduction. So Chris, if you're ready, we'll pass it over to you.
All right. Well, hey, the name's Chris. Chris Whitelaw. I live in London, Ontario, like my good friend Brendon here. Little L dot. What else we got? Yeah, I've been going to Paradigm Shift and been involved for years now. In and out, you know, life happens, but like in and out, love it. It's been one of the most awesome things I've ever been a part of. To be honest, it's really cool. What do I do to help the change? I'm all about the little things, you know. I just like to be as nice and happy as possible, and then rebound. Even if I'm not in the best place, you know, just try and make someone else feel better, and then it rebounds, and you know, Shazam. Research, not too much. Been a little too busy with work these days. I usually listen to the Paradigm Shift Radio / Coast to Coast. Those are some of my favorite things, and other than that, I'm just all about, you know, trying to become the most positive person I can be. Oh, I can't hear anybody now. Hold on. What's going on?
There we go.
Oh,
I was muted.
Hey.
You're good. I was going to ask you, Chris, just for sake of discussion, and we'll open this up for other people to jump in on as well. But what do you find might be some of the things that challenge you in the like path towards being as like positive as possible, or how did you word it exactly?
My own ego.
Yeah.
Hands down. Oh yeah. Gets in the way. Like, and I don't mean like, you know, like superficial the ego type thing. I mean like actual just like my own like sense of self and like my ability to empathize, hands down. Definitely one of my biggest things I'm trying to improve on. That and like probably just conflicting ideas about maybe like how society works, or you know, like I don't know. I'm a big promoter of like, you know, who gives a crap if you're gay or black or transgender or whatever. And then I still run into people in 2016 that are really against it, and it makes me sad. So.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else want to comment on like maybe anything Chris has said, or just like any of what they feel are like kind of maybe some challenges towards like things that, I mean, again, you know, like I don't think the goal is to be like as happy as a person as possible all the time. If anything, like the goal is to be like as human as a person as possible all the time. And again, like I think with 2016, this is something that I alluded to, like with the new video that I'm going to be releasing soon, you know, just with the simple concept of like the challenge of feeling more. You know, one of the ideas is like, you know, if you're happy, like awesome, go with it. Like if you're angry, if you're scared, like honor it. So I mean, I think more often than not, like we don't honor those moments when we feel out of alignment. You know, we're constantly sort of just like, as soon as the light goes off, we're just like frantic mode or panic mode or whatever, and then it's not until we sort of like exhaust ourselves that things like begin to return to a stillness. But I think honoring just like any sort of emotion that's coming through us is super good, and again, just seeing those as like mirror tests and stuff like that, right? You know, like that is, for me, I think a really interesting idea is like acknowledging the things that might bug you or might like sort of irk you and stuff like that, because like those are the direct reflections of like deeper parts of yourself that perhaps you can work on some more. So every time you have like those triggers throughout the day, you can just be a bit like, oh, like I see what you're doing there, universe, like well played. So instead of just being like, oh, you know, right, because it would be like the ego reaction to be like, oh, that person made me angry or that person made me upset. You know, like no one makes you anything. It's just like a series of chain reactions, but you can sort of step in the process before like the reaction goes all the way to, you know, whatever reaction you give to it. So what do you guys think? I mean, just to open it up in terms of team discussion. Or Chris, what do you think?
That was bomb. I think you're like a sexy Dr. Phil. Damn. Yeah, like that was. I don't know. Like that's brilliant. I always appreciate like yours, but anybody's opinion on anything that makes me especially like kind of flip my viewpoint, because like although that seems totally valid and logical, like it's been a while since I've actually thought about it in that term. So like I don't know, I guess you need the little refreshers every once in a while. Because it is hard to, it's easy in retrospect, right? But like in the heat of the moment, sometimes it's just, ooh, you don't even know what's going on in there. Sometimes it can be a bit of a blur at the time. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chris, have you ever have you ever thought of like making any videos or doing any sort of documentation of stuff on your mind or anything?
No, I've never actually. No. If I was ever going to be on video, it'd be more for music than it would be for my own thoughts. I talk enough. I don't think anybody else needs to listen to me.
I don't know, man.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I was say, right? Like the thing that I find, the thing that I always find like really great about this is the idea that like each one of us is like a network for a whole nother group of people, right? So I mean, rather than like just thinking, oh, you know, even if I were to do something, like I don't want to feel like I'm just preaching to the choir or something like that, right? But I mean, to your network of friends, maybe there's something you can say that like they have never even thought of before. So I mean, I think rather than just thinking like, oh, I have nothing important to say, think about who your audience is. Think about who your potential audience is, and then sort of like angle a message around them that may be more effective. So I mean, like regardless, like like that's the thing. Like I think in any situation there can be a value in having some form of media and stuff. But I mean maybe it could be something that comes through your music and everything. But I know with you, Chris. Like I know you've or at least in the past and stuff, you sort of like been around kind of like the bro crowd in university and stuff like that. And you were talking about like how they always would like ask you about your Flower of Life shirt and things. And so I mean like I think. In that sense, there's something really, there's some potential that is yet to be sort of like untapped into in terms of like you never know what seeds you could plant with the people in your direct community connections. So
Totally, no, that's legit. Yeah, I guess you got to consider like the whole networking idea, the fact that you're reaching different audiences, and actually funny side note, I've gone the total opposite direction now. I work at Starbucks, so my friend group is now a bunch of white girls. Totally different demographic, but no, yeah, I definitely something I'd be willing to put some thought into, but like. And it's a shame, but because it's to the point where like YouTube made it and other media outlets made it so easy, to the point now where it's actually kind of 360 and becomes so difficult again because everybody's doing it, right? I definitely utilize YouTube for different networks of information. Like I love, like I've got like Paradigm Shift, I've got Vsauce. I'm always learning or attempting to be kind of inspired through that, but I don't know yet what I would do if I wanted to do something like that. It's hard to gain direction sometimes, especially with the way things work these days. Like there's so much freaking information coming at us at once. Like I'm a big fan of Jason Silva. He throws out these little videos he calls shots of awe or like quickie epiphanies because he just compresses these awesome ideas down into like 2 minutes. You're like, wow, like it just happens. Because we don't have time to sit down and watch like as much as I love them, 20 or an hour minute or an hour long TED talk to sit there and really be fascinated or awe-inspired, right? So that's why I'm a big fan of those, because he's really appealing to a newer generation where people want things quick, and without sacrificing quality at the same time. Though it's still very rich in information and awe-inspiring substance.
Yeah, that's that passes off like a really key point that I just like to like bring some attention to. I mean what you're talking about with Jason Silva, like that for me is like super potent in terms of like how effective our media can be, and like that's something that I've talked a little bit about in the past, but I definitely encourage you guys to do that again, to like think about how you can concise an idea into like a short 2-minute video, and then again to think of it as practice. So I'll be doing more videos like that in the future. You guys will be able to see some sort of examples that I do, and they may just be like one-shot take examples. But yeah, like again, reminding you guys like in terms of like what the Paradigm Shift Central website is designed for. So there's like the 3 main aspects for it. There's the central news, the quest journals, and the conscious articles. The central news is the stuff that I post through related to team updates, project updates, and also related to Paradigm Shift Radio broadcasts and team building hangouts, and also assigned shift missions, which will be coming very soon. But then through there, you have your quest journals and your conscious articles. And the quest journals, like this is why the website exists, is because the quest journals are there as a platform for you guys to practice documenting. And that's the thing, like it may not be video at first. So I mean, Chris, like you're saying, like whether or not you have access to a video camera may be another question, but maybe just by writing, that can be a thing in itself. Because I mean, other than writing in our journals, we don't really do that in Facebook. Not in the same way. Like it's a little bit different. Whereas like this, the quest journals, like they're blog entries, but you can do like just like a little, like thought, like something I thought about. It could be like a particular thought. It could be about a synchronicity that happened during your day. Like the quest journals have a variety of categories that they can fit under related to even dream journals, synchronicities, visions and intentions, reflections and ideas, personal creations, things like that. So maybe it could be even something where you like saw somebody else's video and you're just like, whoa, this is really cool, I want to be able to like help share this and stuff. And that's again, like the audience for Paradigm Shift Central is going to continue to grow. And so if you guys want to practice building this with me, now is the time to start building your quest journals. Now is the time to start creating them. And again, think of them as practice. So it could be like a little like 300-word entry. It could be a 500-word entry. and then through there you're going to be able to like help get your message will get seen by like more people by it being associated through the network and everything. And then again, like the conscious articles are sort of like the refined posts that come later on that are more like specifically articulated, but the quest journals are there for you guys to be able to practice. But yeah, that's just a little bit about them. But yeah, like Chris, we'll just pass it to you for 1 second, then we'll go around for more introductions and stuff. But yeah, man, I would love you know, you or anyone else, if you feel called to use the quest journals and stuff, you know, it doesn't just have to be video. If you've got something that you could be like writing out and stuff, that could totally be a place to do it. And again, like through the practice of writing things out, it actually like it changes your experience within reality. Even if you're like writing out intentions, it can be a place for you to like develop accountability with yourself. You know, I know Michael Brazel is like a huge, you know, like advocator of journaling because it's like such a valuable process. But Chris, do you have any thoughts on that? And other than that, I was going to say if Michael wanted to jump in on journaling, maybe.
Michael, it's all you, buddy.
If Michael wants to jump in. Michael totally wants to jump in.
Yeah, sure.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, journaling, you know, it's a place where we can commune with ourselves, and you know, more so, it's important to give yourself the opportunity to do it. I mean, journaling can be simply writing every day if that's your thing, but when you have a blank journal, you're literally carrying around possibility in your hands. And it's a very powerful physical affirmation to carry around all these blank pages. Even opening the journal to a blank page creates this sense of silence. And the minute pen touches paper, you start to create. And in that place of creation, like, that's where manifesting begins. And I'm not an advocate of doing stuff like, if you're going to do like online journaling, that's great, but complement it with doing pen to paper kind of stuff. When you do physical writing, it's an ecstatic act. It's an embodied action. When we're doing it online, because even though we're all here together, we're all also doing a multitude of other things. So how present are we, right? That's the question. So when you're online, the minute you open up your computer, Facebook calls you, YouTube calls you, Paradigm Shift calls you. All these things are calling you at one time. But if it's just you and your piece of paper and your pen, it's just you and your piece of paper and pen. In the space you're in, it's an act of presence and embodiment. So start there and then put your stuff online, but give yourself those moments to just show up to possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And there you have it.
That's good. For sure, yeah. Show up to possibility. I like that. And again, you know, like for people who totally are more comfortable or more familiar with the writing format, another thing you can do is you can write things in your journal, take a picture of it, like with your phone, and then you can upload that picture as a quest journal to the Paradigm Shift Central website. So like that's kind of like another cool way that you can do it, and I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that as well, because yeah, like writing things down is a different experience. You know, just turn off your computer, go sit on your bed, turn on some cool music, and just like practice writing and see what comes out. You know, and stand up and exercise and dance and go back to more writing, and then repeat that process a few times. So yeah, Chris has got it. So I'll pass it over to Chris. So Chris, is there any other thing that you wanted to mention, just even related to anything? Otherwise, we'll pass it around a bit more. I think you're just yeah. Go ahead.
I have never really done a lot of journaling. There was a time when I recorded a bunch of my dreams that went on for about like 2-3 months, and like while I don't disagree, I don't know because I haven't done it too much. But the one benefit I did get out of that at least was I did manage to remember my dreams much more vividly, and got to analyze it a little bit as well because I was able to remember so much more. So like I can only imagine how that would run parallel with just journaling your everyday thoughts. You know, it'd be the same. You'd be able to remember many more things, start recognizing patterns. I can totally see it being a positive thing. Probably something I should do. So yeah, cool.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and writing down dreams is like super important. For anybody listening to this, in terms of like why we listen to these, why we make these recordings, people listen to them. It's just to sort of get these like refreshers and reminders in terms of like where we're at individually and things that we can do. So for everybody listening to this, everybody should be at least attempting to write down their dreams in whatever form that means to you, because that is like a very valuable thing. So if you're feeling that call, then definitely I encourage you guys to write down your dreams, because that goes hand in hand with like a lot of other stuff, I would say. So but yeah, we can talk more about dreams as we sort of keep going through things. But yeah, so Chris, thanks man, thanks for tuning in, appreciate it. Awesome. Chris just gave a thumbs up for people listening, so and then he blew a kiss. Oh no! Now what's he doing now? He's dancing. He's dancing like crazy. Okay, so we'll move through with more again introduction / updates, which is really what it is. It's not just introductions; it's more so just updates. And we can sort of pass this over to, again, we got a couple people who we haven't really had join us in the Hangouts, but I think we'll pass it over to Brianna first, and then from there we'll open it up to whoever. So Brianna, again, I think you sort of are familiar with kind of what we do format-wise and stuff, so you can give us an update on what the shift in consciousness looks like from your end, stuff you might be working on, maybe crazy synchronicities about your sync exploding, anything that any stories that you want to share with us as we keep moving forward. So, talking sync.
Really quickly, Brianna, I miss you from when you visited Canada. I miss you, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Brianna and Chris were there for the free hugs that we did that one day. That was awesome.
We had green tea. It was wonderful.
Oh,
Nice,
yeah, awesome. Oh, so nice. Oh, sweet. And
Good.
I don't know if I want to share the sync story, but
Yeah, you don't have to.
crazy things have been happening. I'm known as Breezy Spread Love on the internet. I am in Michigan, so I kind of do admin for the Paradigm Shift Michigan Facebook pages. And recently, I've been working on updating my blog channel as well, or creating a blog channel and updating my main channel. And I worked really, really hard for Christmas and worked super hard, saved up a lot of money, and gifted myself a photo shoot. So I got a photo shoot and of some professional photos, but that has nothing to do with the whole Paradigm Shift community. So a lot of synchronistic things have been happening in terms of the new year and all of this newness. And there's a new moon on Saturday, and I was recently reunited with someone in Kalamazoo who's looking for a Paradigm Shift tribe. And they have a space, and I would love to host a meditation in their space, and we were synchronistically reunited. And so that's going to happen on Saturday. So anyone in the Michigan, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids area, if you want to commute farther from there, you're welcome to. But we're going to have a meditation in Kalamazoo, Michigan. So if you want to host meditations on the new moon where you are, that'd be great too, because new moons are great for setting intentions. And I'm sure Brendon knows all about that. So that's about it in terms of my updates currently, other than how I've been feeling for 2016. So in the last couple of weeks, like even in December, we're feeling this like buildup of energy in terms of your own personal goals. Like you have this feeling of wanting to fill up your own cup, wanting to really, really fill yourself up so that you can be yourself in the new year. And we get that feeling kind of every year, but this year it's a little bit different, especially with the new moon in January. So if you were having all these plans in December, and then there was that full moon, and now there's this new moon in January, there's like not only this sociological or like collective conscious in society revolving around New Year's resolutions, but there's this astrological energy to it as well, in my personal opinion. And that's what I've been feeling recently, which makes me feel, and I would describe it as feeling ready and connected to the earth, open in my heart center, and really like connected to the cosmos through my chakra, and like really trying to align those three spaces. and modulate them using my power chakra in your gut. So trying to really focus on using the breath in your belly to help modulate your energy. And that's basically it. Okay. Yay.
Have we lost Skull?
Oh, maybe.
No.
Oh, that was really cool. I thought it was just me,
Go ahead,
but I
guys.
totally thought that there was a whole because yeah, everybody has every New Year. There's just like, oh, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna do stuff, I'm gonna do this, blah blah blah. Like this year, I thought it was maybe just me, but that was a silly thing to think. I feel this draw to just do you, fill your own cup, like you said. So I'm totally with you on that, Breezy. I've noticed a lot of other people like that too. So
yeah, it was really interesting. During the peak of this energy or this feeling I was describing in December, I reached out to Brendon, and then he was talking about all these updates he was going to launch on the website. So it was this underlying feeling of needing to reconnect with people who are also feeling the same way, and really wanting to get the stuff, their projects on the ground and get it running again.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, 2016 does feel there's a lot of potential for stuff just accumulating, and obviously we say that every year and everything, but I mean it's just more stuff is built up at this point. There's more foundation, so there's a lot of potential for community building stuff for sure. So cool.
Even if we look at the world we live in, not only are we building this community online, but there's a lot of call for community building within our physical communities because of war and poverty and famine and droughts. All over the world, everyone's feeling it, especially with Syria and Syrian immigrants. So there's a lot of outside exterior stuff that's going on right now that kind of makes this feeling of potential energy a little more palpable, because at this point the potential energy is more like an explosion that could go anywhere. So yeah, exactly that phase, exactly.
Cool. One more question, Brian. Do you have any conscious media, any videos that you got in the works or stuff that you've recently released? And just tell people what your YouTube channel is again. It's all included anyways.
Okay. My YouTube channel is, you can find me at Breezy Love, or youtube.com/pearlsangel. But Breezy Spread Love should be a good enough search word. And on my channel, I do Truth Day Tuesday and These Thoughts Thursday. So I have 3 videos coming out. One's a Truth Day Tuesday video, and then there'll be another Truth Day Tuesday video. It'll be 2 Truth Day Tuesdays. Can you say that 5 times fast? Because I can barely say it once. And then These Thought Thursdays, which is going to be about New Year's resolutions. And then my vlog channel is going to have a new video up on it. So I'll be busy in the next couple days because I want to get some videos out before school starts again. So yes, I'm going to try and be consistent. That is the energy, consistency.
Cool. Do you think those are ones that you could get up for as posts on Paradigm Shift Central as well? And if you need any help, just let me know.
Okay. Then yes.
Okay, cool.
Brendon's such a sweetheart.
Well, just right now, in terms of the web format stuff, it can be a little tricky. Part of what I have to do is create more tutorials just to make it easier for you guys in terms of posting. But it's just copying the YouTube embed codes and making sure that you have a preview image and things like that. So it's not super complicated, but yeah, I'd love to be able to get your stuff on there as well, Breezy. Because again, with the website, just to give you guys a little bit of idea, I mean, at this point, out of all of us, I have access to a fairly large network, and so my intention is that anytime I put out a video that I intend to go viral, it's going to be something that's going to draw audience to the main website, which draws audience to all of us. So that's kind of the cool format to it. So it's just if I got a video coming out soon, then I want to be able to encourage you guys to get your content up so that your content is also being seen anytime either my content or any of our content is reaching to that wider audience in that sense. So yeah, that's just part of the basic of it. So it's like literally we're all, as one of us builds audience, we're all building audience in that way. So that's kind of the cool thing about it. Does that sparkle with you guys?
That makes me very, very happy in my heart space.
Cool. And another thing, just one more thing, and then we'll pass it around. In terms of format, one of the things I want to experiment with is that when people upload things to YouTube, I'm going to manually re-upload them to the Paradigm Shift Central Facebook page as a technique to try and reach audience that way. Because again, it's not just about trying to get the YouTube video views. Focusing just on the YouTube video can be like very challenging because of the algorithms that Facebook has that limits YouTube links from getting seen as much. So for the sake of people seeing things for the first time, since that is the goal, the goal isn't for them to see it on YouTube over Facebook, although, some would debate that. The goal is for them to see it in the first place. So if re-uploading something from YouTube to Facebook means that more people will see it, then we're gonna play around with that, and that will also grow the main website, the main Facebook page. And just another thing in terms of growing the main Facebook page, I'm also looking for help, and you guys can totally jump in on this, for creating like meme type images, inspirational quote type meme ideas. So there's like a quote that I had earlier in the week where it was just like or it was something along the lines of like follow your heart and the world will be the dance floor of your dreams, or something like that. It's just like something that I wrote like as a status, and then I made like a funky little image of it, and then again that image will be something that we'll specifically share through the Paradigm Shift Central page, and then that will build the fans, like the likes on the Paradigm Shift Central page, which builds more people towards seeing the overall posts that go through there. So it's just part of the social media like format, and part of the technique. It's this project is very, very, very multifaceted, but that's because social media in this day is also very, very multifaceted. But it's also very simple in the sense that, again, the main website, I want you guys to really just focus on creating two things: Quest journals and eventually conscious articles. But just focusing on creating Quest journals, and that's your media platform there. But yeah, like if you guys want to help create like meme images with inspirational quotes and stuff, if you guys like find like a cool quote from a book, copy it down and forward that to me, and then we can memeize it, meme it so hard. Everything's so memey these days, I swear. It's crazy. Exactly.
Do it immediately.
Immediately. Yes.
You still make necklaces by any chance?
What was that, Angela?
You still make necklaces by any chance?
Yes, I do. I do still make necklaces. I do have some necklaces that will be available through the store soon enough. Right now, the main items through the store are just the shift buttons. But yeah, I'm gonna have some necklaces available if anybody is interested. Were you asking? Were you interested in necklaces, Angela, or were you just asking?
I was just asking to find out.
Okay, cool.
To find out.
And if you guys did that, everybody should make crystal wrap necklaces. It's a fun meditation, or any sort of jewelry and stuff. So, cool. Okay, Brianna, was there any message, anything else for the global audience before we pass it around?
Let me think. Stay healthy, stay light, and don't give up the fight. Breezy out.
You're getting good at that.
That was the most adorable thing I've ever seen. She's so awesome.
Like her like sign-off line. That's like the thing that she says if this was an anime. I mean, this is an anime.
Totally what it is. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Maria's laughing.
Oh my god.
That's funny. Cool. Okay. All right, thanks, Brianna. That's awesome. And again, for everybody listening, get in touch with Brianna, and especially if you're in the Michigan area, I'll post the links in there. But you can also look up Paradigm Shift, Detroit Paradigm Shift, Michigan Paradigm Shift. There's another one. Alone. What is?
Livonia,
Livonia,
Detroit, and Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids, yeah. So any of those we're gonna search. Eventually, the website will be streamlined, so people will be able to find stuff easier. For any of the people listening to this, I'll just say, related to the website, one of the updates on it is the map, and I'm inviting you guys. The map is now available for you guys to fill in your information to add to the map. So whether you're on the website now or whether you're just like going to tune in later, go to paradigmshiftcentral.com, and then in the top where your HUD is, your heads-up display, that's like your main menu up at the top. It's very much designed like a video game. That's one thing I didn't really mention is that, again, like the website, the project, it's evolving into a real-life video game. It already is. And like the way how you play is by like planting seeds and by connecting with people and by creating conscious media and by evolving your own consciousness. And if you go to map, up at the top where it says global interactive map or global map, go there. So that's just live.paradigmshiftcentral.com/map, and then from there you'll see a part where it says add your information to the global map. Click here, click there. So that's only accessible to people who are logged into the website, and then take a couple minutes to fill out that form. And then again, as more of us fill out that form, this map is going to become like a piece of art. So that's kind of the idea behind it. So yeah, so go to the map and fill out the entry form when you get a chance. Cool. Okay, so I'd like to be able to pass it around. I'd actually like to be able to pass it to Michael Brazel, just because like I feel he's being super patient and stuff like that. Michael, you sure you don't have something? You're not like, we're not like distracting you from like doing something super important or something right now? No?
Well, I have to go soon.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah,
I sense something.
lots of things going on in the world right now. So.
Cool, cool. Well, yeah, Michael, we'll pass it over to you. And again, for people listening, Michael hosts his own podcast, Michael Brazel Show, and we'll include the links through that. But you can run a search on Michael Brazel, blogtalkradio.com/mbrazel.
Michael Brazel.
Michael Brazel, and then yeah, and he's got websites and stuff, and he can tell you about those as well. But yeah, again, what's the shift look like from your end of things, Michael? What are you working on? How are you helping to assist in the shift, and how do you feel? And also, where are you right now?
Right now, I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. I'll be in Washington, D.C. next month for about a month, just blowing through some yoga classes and teaching, and taking lots and lots of classes. And right now, that's what I'm doing. Lots of yoga here in the area. We launched a new studio here a couple months ago, and now like we're in our new year, so we're really trying to get a lot of stuff on the schedule. So it's really busy, really busy. So I'm really tired, actually. So lots of working out. My goal this year, my intention is to be more body-centered. So doing a lot more with fitness and doing a lot more with nutrition. So I'm going to be incorporating a lot of that stuff into the stuff that I start teaching. And when we relaunched the podcast, Soul Empowerment Radio, we'll be doing a lot more stuff that's focused on body awareness, body consciousness, using the body as the vehicle it is for accessing reality in wonderful new ways. I think there is a spirituality to fitness that we don't often talk about, and when you can incorporate and integrate fitness into spirituality, it's a very powerful thing. Like for instance, a very simple thing that we often do is, we're in resolution time, we're in fitness time, people are in the fitness mode, getting their bodies healthy because overculture says we're supposed to do that right now, more than any other time of the year. So when we work out, it's either an act of love or an act of war. If you're working out because you hate yourself versus you working out just because you love yourself, there's a big difference there. Am I working out as an act of love or an act of war? And there's these very, very subtle things we have to start paying attention to. So that's kind of like my goal this year, is to work on the subtle spaces. We're also doing a lot of animal rights stuff here locally this year, so I'm putting my PETA hat back on, and I'm going to be doing some protesting at Ringling Brothers when they come to town this month. So that's what's happening in my neck of the woods. So I'm like all over the place, doing all kind of crazy things, as usual. Spiritual ADD at its finest.
Cool, cool.
Can I just say that made my day? Like the one part where you just said like, working out because you hate yourself or working out because you love yourself. Like that actually just like Oh, that just hit me in a really nice, warm, fuzzy spot. So thank you. That was cool. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's a very subtle thing. Like I'm a personal trainer and when I talk to my clients, I ask them, well, why are you working out? And most often the response is, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. And all those statements are acts of war, and acts of war aren't lasting. Acts of love are. So if I'm in the gym and I'm working out because I love my body just as it is right now, because that's the only way I can experience my body. Of course, I might not want to carry the extra weight, but hating myself for that right now isn't going to make the weight go away. But if I'm in the gym, or I'm in my yoga practice, or I'm running on the street because I love myself unconditionally, and I'm giving myself this gift of fitness, or exercise, or movement, or breath, or meditation, it empowers that act. It makes it much more engaging. It makes it lasting. It makes it a lifestyle change versus something that's very temporary. And we even do that in our relationships. We go through a breakup and then we go right into the next relationship. Usually is an act of war because we're still processing the other stuff. So I'm going to date this person because I hate the way that one ended. So it's these very subtle places we have to be mindful of, and that's kind of the work that I'm going to be doing this year on our podcast, but even in some blog posts and some things. And I'll try to put some quest journals up and stuff as we go forward. But that's kind of the work I'm doing this year.
It's a total boss. Wow.
So lots of cool things happening, It's like this is the year of integration. So like my work's going to be working on integrating all these little pieces. So, looking at where yoga intersects with fitness. I'm going to be posting some videos, some fitness-oriented videos. I've been doing personal training, nutrition, and fitness for about 20 years and teaching martial arts for almost 28 years. So I have a lot of experience, and I haven't really done anything with it. I've always kind of just focused on Reiki and intuition and stuff, but a lot of my friends and clients are like, you should be doing this stuff too. So I'm heeding the call of the universe, and I'm going to be posting more of that stuff out there as well. So I'm always available if anyone has questions on those things. Don't be afraid to reach out. Become, spiritual fitness ninjas.
Totally.
Yes.
I'll definitely be reaching out.
That's cool. Awesome. Mike, do you have any any diet tips or anything? Any sort of simple diet tips, maybe? Just some practical information.
Go vegan. Honor your body. That's the whole goal of fitness and nutrition. How are you honoring your body? This is it. This is what you have. And everything we do in relation to the body is either honoring it or destroying it. And it's destroying itself just as we go forward. It's just eventually we're going to die. It's just the name of the game. But I want to be sure that the time that I have here is spent in good health and with great mobility, with the ability to access the world around me. And as spiritual people, it's even more important for us to do that because a lot of times, people are looking to us, for those examples on how to move through the world a little bit easier. So we have this beautiful temple, and rather than tearing the temple down and rebuilding it, just do some home improvement stuff. If you notice that you're eating emotionally, that's where the journal comes in. Before you sit down to eat, write down, why am I eating this food? Am I eating it as an act of love or an act of war? Am I warring with my body here? Am I warring with my emotions? Going into the year, this is the great time to detoxes and cleanses, and that could be like anything that calls you, and not just nutrition-wise, but even taking a digital detox. If you're gonna detox from food, detox from Facebook for a while too. Interconnect those things, so that way you give yourself a well-rounded cleanse. But going in fresh whole foods, those are the best ways to do it. I'm vegan. I'm leaning more towards fruitarian now. So it's challenge yourself. If you've never tried being vegetarian, try it for 7 days. Or try it for a day. What do you have to lose? If you're vegetarian, try going vegan. Fruitarian is just doing a high carb, low fat, low protein diet. So it's pretty much just eating fruits. So, so it's really simple. I like it because of its simplicity, And because of my workouts being more endurance focused, the high carb tends to work really well for me. So I do more of a raw vegan, high carb kind of diet. So,
Cool.
but the diet's going to be dependent on the person. But challenge yourself. Like, it was said earlier, our food choices do impact the world in massive ways that we don't sometimes understand. So if you're going to eat something, you should really understand its impact on the world around you, especially if you're eating things like meat, which do contribute to lots of other things globally that are not so nice. So be aware of what you're putting into your body, not just of what it does for you on a selfish level, but what it does as far as becoming a better steward for the world around you. So basically go vegan.
Basically.
Fucking love this guy. Cool. He's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, Michael, have you seen the documentary Cowspiracy?
I have seen it. I used to walk around like when I worked for PETA. If you Google me and put PETA behind my name, you'll see like all the crazy PETA stuff that I've done over the years. It's like, it's pretty insane. Like, I've done some pretty wacky, wild things. But yeah, I know some of the people who are like, who helped like bring that movie to fruition. But
really?
There's lots of stuff out there. There's a great movie called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. There's a ton of really great movies out there. PETA have put out some really good movies. I'm in one of the ones they put out called I Am Not Animal or something, or I Am Animal. Something. It's one of their movies, but I'm in it, protesting or something or another. But yeah, get out there, get active. But especially if you're putting stuff into your body, know what you're putting into your body. This is the year to really start cleaning stuff up because, we don't know where stuff is coming from. So check your sources, like know where things are coming from that you're putting into your body. Be aware, be body conscious. Am I poisoning myself or am I nourishing myself? And give yourself the ability to really question those things, as an act of love, right? Because you want to love this body. You have it, and we want you to be here for a really long time. So, do stuff to really take care of it, whatever that might be, whether it be movement. Start with one thing first, though. A lot of times we want to do it all at one time. We want to go vegan, and then we want to like become a ninja, and then we want to like become a gymnast all at the same time. Pick one area and start there, and then branch out to the next thing. So you start to stack them and create this layer. You don't want to do something that's a trend. You want to make a lifestyle change. A lifestyle change requires commitment. So commit to yourself because it's an act of love. It's a gift you're giving to yourself. So do that. Yeah, but Cowspiracy was really good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Cowspiracy thing because I even saw a post about it the other day. But it's basically the idea of like not eating X number of like hamburgers equals like saving like X number of gallons of water and everything like that. Because like a lot of people, like that.
3,000 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of
3,000 for 1 pound.
For 1 pound.
Like that's insane.
Yeah.
And that's just like all from like just like the water it takes to like feed the cows to like just like get them living and then to like it's ridiculous. So
and it's like billions of animals a year that suffer just because of a choice we're making when we sit down at the table. But on a selfish level, it really is the worst thing we can put into our body. We're not designed to eat meat. We're not designed to have dairy in our systems. We're the only animals beyond childbirth that drink the milk of another animal. So, that's kind of telling, right? I mean, when is the last time someone like suckled on a cow or suckled on your cat? It's like the same thing.
2 weeks.
I mean, that might be some people's thing. I don't know if that's your thing. I might have to protest you, but that's your thing. That's your thing, right? But, I mean, start small. Like, even going vegan or vegetarian or even trying it can be daunting for some people. But now it's like there's so many options out there. It's really easy. It's easier to do now than even when I started doing it 15 years ago. It's like so easy now. At least try it. And what do you have to lose by trying it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny you say that because I've brought up it a couple of times at Paradigm Shift meetings that like I'm a bit of a like I'm a lifter. I like to lift heavy weights and slash kind of power lift bodybuild type thing. And I found that like over after the first year, without even my conscious acknowledgement, my diet started to slowly head that way. I found that I wasn't even eating meat like maybe once a week until someone even like realized, because I started actually like writing it down and like figuring out what I was eating, and then someone was like, "Man, you haven't even eaten meat in like 2.5 weeks." I'm like, "Holy crap!" Like all my stuff came from like heavy fruits and vegetables, a lot of better fats like coconut oil and hummus, stuff like that. And it just naturally transitioned that way without me even noticing, and I was feeling super. So like, yeah, it's totally legit.
Yeah, and then there's a lot of people. I mean, I was doing competitive bodybuilding as a vegan, and there's a site called veganbodybuilding.com that a friend of mine named Robert Cheek runs, and he's been doing vegan bodybuilding for about 15, 16 years. And another really great product line that's out there called Vega, which is another friend of mine created. He's Canadian, so he's on your guys' team.
Those goofy Canadian bastards, eh?
No, he's like a super triathlete, Brendon. He's like, if you've never seen his stuff, like he's phenomenal. He's like really at the forefront of fitness and integrating these types of whole food diets and plant-based diets as your source for fueling things like bodybuilding, swimming, triathlons, and those kind of things. So it's out there. The information's out there. It's are you willing to take a step into a direction that may challenge your current paradigm? Paradigm shift yourself. So go shift yourself by just reading up on stuff and finding out. Like, not all this stuff tastes great, but if you're creative, like, that it shouldn't matter.
I actually, when I turned vegan, I at first thought that it would be really, really hard for me, and I didn't like some of the food that I tasted, and I heard a lot of bad things about it. And then I realized how freaking easy it is, and I have a lot of health issues already, and that even made it easier for me, because as soon as I became vegan, some of those health issues were much, much easier to control. And it was just amazing. I just read how Zoe just wrote something about dairy, and if you stop having dairy, you'll realize, a lot of your health issues some of them will go away, and some of them will just be easier to handle.
Yeah, well, like dairy especially. Dairy has this it has something in it called casomorphine, and it's for the baby cows. When they drink the milk, it helps them to it reduces the pain from their growth spurts. And what happens is when we take in this chemical into our bodies, we become addicted to dairy. And the industry knows that. And when we stop taking in these things into our body, we do notice a big change. Most people are lactose intolerant. And if you really look at what the dairy industry does to the animals, that should be the number one reason to go, to shift away from dairy. But in order to produce milk, the mother cows are forcibly impregnated, and their children are ripped from them to be used for veal. So that's what, they have to be continuously impregnated. And they're put in these crates called rape crates. So that's pretty telling, that the fact that the industry calls the cages they put the mother cows in rape crates. So it's telling. This is what we're supporting when we choose to eat and drink those things. But it takes time to make the transition. So I'm also a realist. I know that it's not easy for people to make those transitions. But challenge yourself. Like, why not try? If you've never tried it, give it a go. See what happens. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And if you are going to eat meat and support those industries, do it, in a way that causes the least amount of suffering. If you're going to do it, be conscious of where it's coming from. When you're buying from big agribusiness, you're supporting some of the worst and most egregious cruelties on animals and on the earth. But if you're at least looking at where your stuff is coming from, support local farms. Go to places that are sourced. Go to places that you know where this stuff is coming from. You know. But in the end, if you're going to go that far, take one more step and see if you can go in the direction of compassion.
Yeah. I know, Michael, I was running some searches since you told us to. Yeah, there's, just to give you guys a little bit of background, Michael, it appears, perhaps on more than one occasion, has done some sort of, like, nude protests for veganism, walking around holding a sign and not much else. But,
pretty much. I've been
Yeah.
on street corners across the globe in my underwear for the animals. In blizzards, I protested the running of bulls in Pamplona. It was me and 5,000 other naked people marching through the streets of Pamplona. It was called Running of the Nudes in protest of Running of the Bulls. Yeah, I've done all kinds of wacky things. I've been arrested for PETA. I've been I splattered fake blood on windows, and I've had wonderful conversations with people. Like I've done everything from the wacky to just the educational aspect of it. You know, just talking to people about making the transition to compassion, because that's what it is. It's just making a step towards compassion. But yeah, there's interviews, me making out with people for the animals. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out there.
All kinds of crazy stuff.
You can spend hours looking at the wonderful wacky.
I like it. Cool, awesome. All right, well, Michael, thanks, man. It's good to hear from you. We'll go around the circle anymore. But is there any last thing that you wanted to share?
Yeah, the big thing is, you know, take this year to be one where you honor your body. You know, really sit down and ask, you know, am I loving myself through my actions, or am I committing acts of war and violence against myself? You know, when I show up to something, show up to it fully. Like, be present this year. It seems like as we've gone forward, we've gotten more and more detached from one another. Take time to just shut everything down and connect. If you don't have a lot of people around you, connect to your environment. Like, go outside and pay attention to the trees. Like, listen to the wind. Like, touch and play with your animals. You know, these things aren't going to be there forever. You're not going to be here forever. And my whole thought is, I don't want to get to like the pearly gates and they do my life review and it's just all me scrolling. You know, I don't want to have like, you know, it's just
you are not your Facebook posts.
It's like, oh man, it's like, you know, it'd be like that memories thing on Facebook. That'd be my whole life review. I don't want that to be my life review. So get outside and like connect to one another and practice. Like, do all this good stuff. My full name is Michael Braslin. I'll put it in the chat so that everyone can see. Follow me on Facebook. I post lots of interesting, fun things there. So. But yeah, just honor your body. Take time to just love yourself. I mean, go, like, you know, Skull said, this is the year to feel. Like, challenge yourself to feel more. And do that as an act of love. You know, just love.
Hashtag feel the feels.
Feel the feels. Hashtag
feel the feels.
Hashtag go vegan. So.
There you go. Cool.
Hashtag go vegan.
All right. Thanks again, Mike.
Absolutely. Have a good one, everybody.
See you, Mike.
I'm not sure if he's like leaving. I think he's still here, but either way, yeah. Cool. Okay. I think we'll pass it over to Aaron, who's also Chase within the Hangout, just because he had mentioned that he has to head out in a little bit, and if that's cool with him, we can do that. So, Aaron, did you want to introduce yourself and make sure your mic works?
Sounds good. How does everything sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds perfect, man.
Coming through loud and clear? Okay, good.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm Aaron Wildsmoke on Facebook, and you know, it's great to be here. That's the important thing, is that everybody's here, and everybody's touched base on some really awesome things tonight. I wrote a lot of things down for myself, so I mean, it's great. It's personal. We get to think about all these different things that are on our mind and just kind of hang out and let loose and talk to each other. So in the nature of how this one's been going, everybody's kind of been talking about what's on their mind, and I guess I have to say what I'm trying to do right now is everything I want to do. There's so many interesting things in this life to experience and to go for. I want to fly, so I'm going for my pilot license, and I want to play an instrument. I love the electric guitar, and this beautiful world has so many different natural landscapes that I want to experience. So I'm learning about expedition skills and things like that, and just get out there and try and learn about the things you love, because like Michael was talking about, you want to have those experiences. You want to have as much as possible going on, and what I'm trying to do now is fill my day up with as much as I can, because uh, when you have a full schedule of things you love, you find out more about things you want to do and things that you'd rather save time on, and your time becomes more valuable, because your free time, you see, well, this is, what do I really want to spend my time doing? And the only way you figure that out is you have to get out there and you have to try different things and figure out what you like. And it's really important to me now to make things happen, because I've spent a lot of time exploring and thinking about things, but maybe not making as many things happen as I know I'm capable of. So it's important to really go for it and make some concrete effort, and just put the time in, move forward. It's like that Boston song. It's one of my favorite songs. Uh, I understand about indecision, but I don't care if I get behind. People living in competition. All I want is to have my peace of mind. It's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, so
Nice.
just you have to decide, and you have to try things, and you have to go out there and just do it. Figure out what you want to do, and don't be indecisive about it. Don't worry if getting late. Like for me, I started college late and stuff, but that's okay as long as I'm not indecisive and I make things happen. So that's really where I'm at, and yeah, it's good to see everybody. Good to see you, Brendon. Cool.
Cool, man. Awesome. That's good. If anybody, Chris, did you have a comment or something? I think Chris wanted to comment on
Oh,
the song choice or something.
yeah, Boston, hells yeah. And do it, dude. Learn guitar, learn any instrument, but learn guitar is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also, your dog is fucking adorable. I love dogs. Oh my god.
His name is Ghost. He's my Viking buddy.
Oh my god, look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Babe.
Yeah.
Two different colors?
I don't want a dog, but I love Ghost. It's like he's mine. It's just
Look at him.
my buddy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, learn an instrument, learn to sing, or do practice things. Get out there and figure things out. And yeah, because you never know what opportunities are going to come your way, and the more experience you have, the more you're open to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Yeah, I was writing a couple things down. Let's see if any are relevant at this point. But I was exploring something about when Michael was talking about what was he talking about? Something with like changing the world and doing. And it made me think about what I call personal honor. So even if it's like everybody wants to make money, right? That's how we support ourselves and our families and our loved ones. But there's a thing that I like to call personal honor, and that's like doing what you know is just, and you have to decide that, but doing what you know is just, and following your code, even if you do or don't think it has an impact, and you get, like, I've personally got to the point where it has a bigger impact than you think, just doing what you know, like whether it's voting with your dollars or just making the right decision when you're working with somebody and you see something that you might not necessarily think is right, or whatever it is. I know I'm not providing a very good example, but yeah, so personal honor is just it's really important just for being honest with yourself, because you have to be honest with yourself. So that's one of the things that I'm focused on is personal honor and complementing that. I watched this funny commercial with an oil company in Australia. Maybe some of you have seen it, where they were talking about this phenomenon called the gap, and it's like doing what you know is right and then doing what would make money for your shareholders. And they came up with the solution called "fuck you," and that was how they were going to close the gap. Just yeah, and there doesn't always have to be a gap. I mean, there might be a gap, and like if it depends on what your goals are, but yeah, I find it's very important to have my own personal honor. Yeah. Anyone want to reflect on some experiences they might have had with where honor has been important, or?
I there's definitely been a couple of those. I really liked what you were going on before about the like. For me, it was a big thing, and it's also something I encourage with the whole just going out and doing whatever like is kind of calling to you. Like you said, you wanted to learn an instrument or whatever you want to do. Like every time I've followed that whim, it's always led me in a good direction type deal. So like that's definitely something I'd be like get big thumbs up for. Like even just like a couple weeks ago, like I remember I learned a bit of sign language because my ex was fluent in it, and I recently started getting back into it, just trying to spell out things and all that. Then as I said, I don't know if anybody knows I work at Starbucks. I had a deaf gentleman come in, and I couldn't tell if he was deaf or not yet. But then he said, "Thank you," and I'm like, "Wait, come here." So I'm like, "Hi, my name is Chris," and I spelled it out. And I'm like, "Are you hungry?" And he's like, "No," and he just looked like super happy that he could find someone else that could even communicate. So it was really cool. Like just go and do it because it'll be worth it in the end. Like no matter what, even if you make a little difference or you just have fun with it, it's totally worth it.
That's good. See, the perks of working at Starbucks.
No barista.
Yeah. Cool. I was gonna say just in terms of you guys talking about like really make the most of your days and stuff like that. Question just for the entire team, anybody here. What's your guys' relationships been with like sunrises and sunsets lately? Have you guys like made a note to like catch any sunrises or sunsets? Do you perhaps feel that you haven't gotten as many as you could have? Do you almost feel as if you'd like to see some more? Because I know last team meeting, like before Christmas on the 23rd, when we were doing one, and I was just like, yeah, it's my intention to like see more sunrises. Didn't happen. Like I just like straight up honesty, it didn't happen. So I'm just like, that's still something that for me, like I want to be able to do more. And I mean, like I think I would have to go to a decent place to like catch a sunrise properly. Like I can't just get it from my back window or whatever. So like the best thing I got is like like 7:30 in the morning, like outside my bathroom window, sun gazing for a few minutes. But like I want to sunrises and sunsets are amazing. So I mean sunsets, because I'm talking about like sun gazing and stuff like that too. But yeah, like oh man, those are so important, those time of the days. We can like we're heliovores as well. We forget that, like helio as in like the sun. We like eat the sun, so we have to like remind ourselves to like fill ourselves up on like helionutrients or whatever.
Ooh,
so
it's got a little shiver. That's cool.
Helionutrients. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Has anybody here been missing out on the sunsets? Am I the only one? Or
I don't wake up single digit AM.
Like watching it or being awake for the sunset? Because
Sunset,
I hate to miss out in the morning. Like I hate when I wake up late and I miss out on all those morning hours. But you mean like the sunrise as a thing?
Yeah, like one or the other. Like, has anybody like had some like good? Has anybody intentionally been catching sunrises?
Oh.
And
Trying to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it's all something we want to do. So.
Oh God, not me. I love sleeping.
Yeah, now that you mentioned
I love sleep.
Sunsets, not the sunrises.
Yeah, sunsets.
Oh, both. I'm trying to flip my schedule so that I actually wake up a little bit before the sunrise. But then it's difficult. I was actually trying to do that today, but you invited me to this, so I was just like...
Oh.
But
you jerk, Brendon.
Whoops.
You jerk.
no, it's okay. I've been a hermit for a while, so. But for sunsets, I like to take my walks during sunsets, like the second walk of the day, to catch the sun, last bit of the sun, and sort of ease myself into the night.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like all the pinks in the sky. They remind me of love. It's just color therapy, you know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Color therapy, like natural color therapy. Yeah, like
Yeah.
we have to think about how, like the healing potentials of nature are constantly just like asking for us to spend time with them, but we're just like, no, I'm too busy for you, nature. Like I have to go home and update my Facebooks. Like I can't. But meanwhile, the sun's just like setting, and it's just like, okay, I'll be here for you tomorrow. Like I don't take it too personally. But yeah, like walking my dogs during the sunset. Like today, I went to like kind of the river with my dog and caught like the last little bit of the sunset. But it was literally just like 2 minutes. Like I saw it go behind the building and stuff. But yeah, intention for myself is to still like catch more sunsets, catch more sunrises, but to also do like sun gazing during both as well. So, are you guys? Is you guys
I've
on?
seen a good number of sunsets because in Florida, by the beach, but sunrises, I don't know, because I love the daylight, so I love the new day. So I don't know. I want to see more sunrises.
That's what I mean. Yeah, we're missing out.
I just want to see more sun. It's freaking overcast every day at the moment here in good old Canada. It's nice and cold. But
Yeah.
no,
Well, it's kind of. I was just gonna say, yeah, on the last podcast that we did, the last hangout that we did, like we were like talking about, we were just like, oh, it hasn't snowed in Canada, and we were just like, global warming, the squirrels are dying because they're getting too fat and stuff. Well, just as an update for everybody who last heard that one, we've gotten our snow, so it came like just a couple days after Christmas, but yeah, winter did show up. Not to say that the whole like global warming thing, nature and stuff isn't still a real thing, but we got our winter, so I just wanted to let you guys know. Because if it was just like, it's just like, oh yeah, Canada just didn't get winter this year, then that would be a problem. But it showed up.
It's freaking cold now.
Yeah, but still, we want to, we still have to keep doing what we can to like help the planet. So. Captain Planet. Cool. Okay, so moving things along, we'll aim to like wrap up this recording probably in the next like half hour, give or take, and we still have Angela, Shane, and Zoe to introduce, and Maria, who's just in the chat, and she can type stuff in the chat and we can relay it. But I'll just pass it over again to Aaron. Aaron, was there anything else that you want to just like share with the audience, like maybe any practical ideas or any intentions that you would like to iterate for yourself or otherwise? I mean, you already kind of shared some of that, but
yeah, I don't know, just it's just do it, just do it. And with that, I will go because I have to be up early tomorrow. So
right.
Take care, and you guys have a good night.
All right, talk to you later. Peace out, man. Cool. Okay.
Just do it. Just freaking do it.
Shia LaBeouf tells you just do it. Okay, so with those of us who are here, so between Angela, Shane, and Zoe, I'll let you guys decide who would like to go next and give us their updates / introductions. So.
Why don't we do girl, boy, girl, or woman, man, woman, whatever you want to do?
Does Zoe or Angela? Who wants to go first?
I'll go last.
Angela wants to go last. Zoe, do you want to go second, third last?
No, I can go if you want.
Sorry, third last is what I meant by now. So, yes. Do you want to go next, is my question.
Sure.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, again, Zoe, you can just tell us, like, who you are, where you're from, maybe some things that you're interested in, what the shift in consciousness looks like from your perspective, and maybe anything that you're doing to help assist in the shift, and that totally includes being a hermit as well. So that's a big part of it. And how are you feeling in this present moment as well? So go ahead, Zoe, and good to see you again.
Alright, hi, I'm Zoe. I'm from upstate New York. Yeah, I've definitely been sort of a hermit this year. I haven't been doing much online with Paradigm Shift. I haven't been in Hangouts for a while. Uh, for me, what does the shift look like? This whole year has been a lot about shadow work and being authentic and seeing the shadow in yourself and others. And it's definitely a lot. It's been a heavy year. Sort of what Aaron said about, your personal honor, and also what you were saying in the beginning of the Hangout, honoring your emotions and what you're feeling and where you're coming from. And also honoring some of the darker parts of yourself, because if you deny them, then they can influence you without you really knowing. So this whole year has been my journey to the underworld, and only recently have I been coming back out. So
wow, that was powerful. Damn. And with the candlelight too, so haunting. Ooh, I like it. Cool.
Yeah, I guess the candlelight is an appropriate ambience.
Just seriously, I feel like I'm getting a message from another world. It's wonderful. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Recently, I've been doing a lot of dream work, but I've always been doing dream work. The realm, so so that's always been pretty big for me. As far as not so much media, I have about a year of writing that I've been sitting on, and I didn't really know about Quest Journal, so I guess I'll start to do that, because I have been journaling every day. That's been part of my process, and I feel I have a lot to share from this world over here. Let's see, how am I feeling? Well, I feel more present than I've ever been in my entire life, I think, since I was a kid. And a little sad because I've sort of been stripped down, pretty bare, since 2012. It's just been a process of stripping away, getting to the core, facing your fears, and I'm sort of ready to come back into the light now, if that's cool. Kali's been kicking my butt. And yeah, definitely this year I feel is a year of possibility. Not just because it's the new year, but because of this sort of energetic shift that's happening. Definitely everything culminated for me right as this last year ended, and everything just fell apart. Everything that I was holding on to, all of my false beliefs, all of the relationships, just everything just fell apart. And now I'm at the bare ground. I'm sort of at that point where it's okay, there's a void in front of you, but it's not the dark void that you were, feeling before. It's this bright void of swirling colors and possibilities, and just go for it. It's open. So that's how I'm feeling right now. But definitely have a bit of blues of letting go of stuff. But I can see it was for the best now. So.
That's really nice.
Yeah. I don't know. What else?
I just wanted to point out, and for people hearing, they would have no idea, but Maria is closing her eyes while listening to us, I think, or she's asleep or something while listening to Zoe and stuff. I don't know, I just thought it was really cute.
Wakey, eggs and bakey. Just kidding, go back to sleep, relax, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. No, that's really good, Zoe, and yeah, and it's good to see you and hear from you again, for sure. I think, again, one of the things that I really like to focus on is how can, again, how can we help assist in the shift and stuff like that, and I think it's important for us to be able to like practice sharing our voices. So I mean, yeah, like I would really look forward to seeing you getting involved with sharing some of your journals through the Quest journals, because again, it's one of those like perpetual things where like as more people start to do it, more people will like be excited about doing it. If no one's doing it, no one will care. But as more people start to do it, it builds some momentum to it, and I'm really interested and I'm really excited to be able to see how like your perspective contributes to it, especially like you said from like the dream side of things, because you've always like your relationship with your dreams has always been quite vivid, hasn't it? Has it not, Zoe?
Yeah, definitely. And especially recently, I've sort of had this feeling of like my dream world has its own sort of vibe. That's the best way I can put it. And it's very intimate to my experience. But generally, I'd wake up, in the past, right, and I'd be in my head, and it'd be in the hustle bustle of the world, and, I'd sort of lose touch of that vibe. But recently, that vibe has sort of bled into my life. Like, it's like not just like a thing here or there, it's like becoming a constant, and that's like really interesting for me. It's like a really different sort of conscious feeling, and that literally happened, like it was happening in December a little bit, but it literally like happened right as the new year progressed, like I want to say like the 4th or 5th, and now it's just like a constant like presence. So yeah, definitely a strong connection there. I'd love to share more of it.
Mm-hmm. How do you, like, just sort of thinking ahead, how could you maybe see like your Quest journals perhaps like inspiring other people? I know it's a general question, but like what do you think? Like, what's the value in like sharing our dream journals, or yours specifically? Like, what would be your intention to hope that people would get out of it?
I think it would just be like a sort of window into the collective conscious experience, because I really do feel that we're all part of like this big story, right? This big archetypal myth. And, we all have like our little parts, but there are definitely, connections and synchronicities within that. So just journaling and having people be able to see that, like maybe they'd connect to something and they'd be like, whoa, wait, that symbol appeared in my life just a little while ago, and that's interesting, you're relating to it in that way, and this is how I relate, and I just feel like sparks would fly. So I think it's a good idea. I have a tendency to hermit myself because it's more comfortable, right? Like, I really don't like talking in front of people all that much. My comfort zone is staying by myself, staying in my dream world. That's what I like. Even tonight, like, I didn't even want to be here, but I was deciding to just be here, just do it, just push past your comfort zone. Like, this whole, I don't know, dive into the underworld was pushing past my comfort zone. This whole dive back out of the underworld is pushing past my comfort zone. So, yeah.
Thank you for coming tonight.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, it's exciting.
You're so cute.
Thank you.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, no, it's good to see everybody here. Brianna's like doing like cat things. You're like pretending you're a cat.
Dinosaur thing?
I have dinosaur hands.
They're me like trying not to pinch your cheeks.
Oh, so kawaii.
I'm weird.
So I have a question for you guys. Like,
Yeah, please.
Part of the whole journey of being authentic and, as Rainey was saying, transparent, right? Like, how have you guys faced your shadows? Do you see like what your shadows are? Have you not gone down that road yet? Like, how do they influence you, and where are they at, and how do you respond to things? Well, yeah, and how do you respond to things that maybe you're not so proud of about yourself?
Yeah.
How does that
Um,
then define you?
I could share something, but I'll let somebody else go first if they want to go first.
Well, it's funny. It's interesting that you say that. I
Wait,
was.
Brianna, can you just move a little closer to the mic,
Oh,
if that's possible?
yeah. It's really interesting that you say that because I have been experiencing like a hermit period, as you say, and I meant the Truth Day Tuesday video I'm going to release was supposed to come out literally like a week and a half ago or so. So because my shadow side like reemerged and stuff, it took me a second. I had to think about it, and like to tell you the truth, like those periods, I really have to love myself and give myself that time, and to be creative. And I had a conversation with my dark side and was like, listen, you help make me stronger, so I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, but just know I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes you can be like overbearingly angsty. So that's kind of like I've been experiencing something similar, and I have those same questions, and like I don't know how to answer them. All I know is that I just have conversations with myself and like talk to my dark side, so to speak, and try to, because I want it to be accepting. So that's like the main root of the conversation is like, all right, I'm accepting of you, I'm accepting of you, and then seeing what happens when I start doing that. And that's like the process that I'm in right now.
That's good. I like that, having like a conversation with it.
Mhm. And the conversation starts off with like being accepting and being like, okay, so you're here, and that's all I can really do right now.
Right.
That's what I personally think is the most important thing, to be honest, is accepting that whether you like it or not, it's there. Because if you turn around and you're going, no, 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 but like we were speaking earlier about stuff that happens in the news, and there's always sort of bad press, and that's all you ever see. And I think it was Chris who was saying about being positive all the time and trying to be that person. Well, that's fantastic, but also acknowledging that the negative stuff is there is one way of staying positive again. Because if you didn't acknowledge it, it'll all come to one sort of big explosion where it's like rah 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 rah. You're like, damn, where the hell did this come from? And all of a sudden it's like, all right, okay, now I've actually got to address this. But if you address it as it comes along, then it works really well. And I quite like the way, I don't know, I suppose the way I address the shadow side, as you mentioned, is, I don't know, I don't think I've ever really encountered it, to be honest. I don't know whether that's me not sort of delving into it enough myself, or whether I don't know, I'm not quite sure. I know I'm kind of rambling here, so I do apologise, but
Sorry, Shane. Oh, I was just gonna say, like, as a team, like, what does the shadow side, what does the shadow self look like? What are some ways we could recognize it? If you guys want to give some obvious examples, I mean, you know, like envy, jealousy can be shadow side. You know, sometimes we can find ourselves like being sort of like angry at someone else, and we have to like question like why it is that we are and stuff. I think those are simple things of the shadow side. What do you guys think are some of the
Well,
ways to
number one,
recognize?
who's speaking there? Shane, you got sexy accent, man. Keep it up. Number two, I love the British accent. Number two, yeah, definitely envy, a bunch of things. I find, at least for me personally, the biggest tell is projection. For me, that's the big one. It's like when I'm, frustrated with something about someone else or whatever, and then I realize, am I just projecting that on? Is that something I don't like about myself, etc. Blah blah blah. So that's a big culprit for me. Oh, and also about the whole like staying happy all the time thing. So I don't know if I worded that right. It was more just kind of spread happiness all the time.
Yeah.
There's no being happy 24/7. That doesn't exist. Not yet.
We try.
Yeah, about the happiness all the time thing, like that's a big part when I have like a depressive period. I kind of beat myself up about like not being happy, which is why the conversation always starts with accepting my dark side, because the first thing that happens when I realize I'm being unhappy is that I get even more unhappy that I'm not happy. And it starts this crazy cycle out. And I going back to what Brendan was saying about like recognizing the shadow self, it's because of all these things that built up about my personal envious ideas or jealousy for other people who are putting their ideas out there that are really similar to mine, and I'm like, oh, I wish I had done that, or oh, I can't do it as good as them, or like looking at my material and being, having all these negative thoughts, and then all of that negativity builds up, and then it explodes into this like depressive period where I have to like accept myself and then like use all of that I just described, look back at it and use it as fuel to fire myself and like fire myself up and push myself to be a better person. Using all that as fuel. So like that's like the
Cool.
process I guess I go through.
Whenever I have that
Totally.
sort of stage, sorry, I feel really bad. The Breezy, that's the one. Forgot your name for a second there. Do apologise. Whenever I get to that sort of stage, I think one of the best things I take from it is that I say to myself, "Well, do you know what? I'm allowed to feel this way." Like doesn't, you don't have to sit there and think, right, okay, I feel this way, but now I've got to get back to where I was last week. I've got to get back to feeling fantastic. I always just say to myself, do you know what? Do you know if I want to have a lazy day today, I'm allowed to, so I'm going to.
I like
Yeah.
this guy too.
You
Wow,
get to
so
the
many
end of
cool
that
people
day,
here.
and it's like, I'm so glad that I allowed myself to do that. Just quickly, the sunset and sunrise is one. I'm with Chris. I like my sleep too much. I never get to see the sunrise.
It's not a thing. Single digit AM. Never heard of it. I'm sorry.
Single digit AM, yeah. Cool. I'll add in a little bit relative to even like Brianna, what you were saying about about like the idea of like seeing other people do stuff with like similar ideas and sort of being like and acknowledging how that makes us feel sometimes. Like it is very interesting because I'll again, being transparent and being honest with you guys, it's interesting how something inside of me like still reacts sometimes when I see things going like really popular on social media and stuff like that. Like sometimes if I like see somebody like get like a really big post or something, and if I mean honestly like it's weird. It's just like because you want to be like, okay, I guess I should clarify specifically within like the realms of like conscious media and stuff like that. When it's just like cat stuff or whatever, that's like secondary and everything. But like yeah, like sometimes if I like see like a super viral like social media thing, sometimes it can actually like make it triggers something in me where again I'm like trying to find the right words for it. And there's so much context to this, but I guess just for me it's just like oh, like I really put a lot of heart into my message and I really want it to be able to reach more people, and I know that the people who it's reached has like really made a difference in their lives, and I would just wish that my stuff could be able to reach more people. And yet I see like an article that's like sort of like a half-ass written article that's like super clickbait and like not even like really like intelligently written, so to speak, and it's also like maybe got even like misinformation and stuff in it, and then like people just share that like 100,000 times, and I'm just like, and then I see that I'm just like oh, like why is that so popular, and why am I struggling so hard for my stuff to get out? Which again is like part of the motivation behind like creating this, is like sort of changing up the format and stuff. But yeah, I'll give you guys a specific example. Not exactly like not exactly relative. A little bit different for different reasons. Part of my shadow
I have
side.
to head out,
Go
guys.
ahead.
I love all you guys. See ya.
Dude, we love
Thank
you,
you
man.
so much. Love you.
Enjoy the sunrise.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Talk to you
cool
later, Chris.
mustache dude.
That's
Okay,
all
so
we
I
needed was a monocle.
yeah, mono. So I was just gonna say, one thing that I've noticed within my own shadow self within like the last couple of weeks has been something that's come up time and time and time and time again. But it's actually like my internal reaction to spirit science. Like straight up, like I know you guys have like
Dies
heard me.
laughing.
Yeah,
Dies
exactly. Like
laughing.
Brianna's like heard this story like 100 times over. She's like, you were talking about this exact same thing like 3 years ago, and I'm just like, I know, what the frig, right? Like seriously. So, but long story short, Spirit Science is like that other website, and Jordan makes those cartoons, and they're like super popular, and their Facebook page has like 9 million likes on it, and everything they post on there goes viral and stuff. And they're actually
You're
like,
not cute enough.
I'm not cute enough. I'm not a cartoon enough. But okay, no, getting to the point of this, they've sort of like they've kind of launched like the new project that they're building towards, and in some ways it's parallel. It's really similar to like what Paradigm Shift is and stuff as well, though like it's also different and everything, which is totally cool. So again, like from inside I'm processing this internal thing where like, and I've thought about this before, where it's just like, be like, okay, well, I should be happy for them because any sort of thing that's helping assist in the shift in consciousness is still important. If that's a portal for some people to wake up, for some people to get inspired, then that's cool. That's awesome. Like that's important and everything. But then in the same time, like recognizing that can sort of be like applied ubiquitously to anything really. So like whenever you see somebody else's post go up and being successful, you should really sort of like feel that as like a shared success for consciousness, depending on the content. But I was just gonna say, there's stuff where like I have like personal feelings towards Jordan and stuff like that, and like he's just like not someone who I would like recommend to people or something. I guess that would make sense. Like like I try not to like get involved with it or whatever, but there's just like certain things about like his way of doing things that I don't fully agree with. So my point of this is that realizing that inside of me, like there's like some sort of disdain towards like spirit science and Jordan specifically, is something where like I acknowledge that, and like even a few days, like when this happened, within the first few days that it came up again, I was just like, oh man, like this is like I felt this before. What is this? But then I was just like, wait a second, okay, like change the question here. How can I transmute this? So then it's basically this idea of like using how I feel about spirit science as motivation and fuel for me to keep doing what I want to be able to continue doing with like more passion and stuff. So like if I see something that I don't like that somebody else is doing, or like I don't like the way that they're doing it or something, or I don't agree with it or whatever, or something like that, using that as motivation to do it the way how I want to be able to do it. So like using it to like create my own vision and stuff. So honestly, like anytime like spirit science stuff goes like super popular, that just like encourages me to be able to like build paradigm shift stuff in the way that like is fitting to the vision that I sort of have for it and everything. So yeah, like that's like my shadow story, is like, yeah, acknowledging that a part of me still hates spirit science, and I know hate's a big word, and I don't use that word often and stuff like that relative to like specific things. It's so weird. Like honestly, there's I don't even like Jordan's like the only person in this like reality who I like don't really
I totally
like.
feel you.
It's so like
I totally feel you.
it's so I know, and I mean there's a whole conversation there, but again, point of the story is using how I feel again about that as motivation for me to keep working on paradigm shift stuff specifically related to just like personal transmutation and stuff like that. But anyways, I don't even want to like talk too much about spirit science unless it's something that you guys like want to talk about or something, because it is sort of like a micro macro kind of thing. But we'll keep moving through here.
So the weather was really nice today.
There's a
Yeah.
lot you can talk about spirit science.
Well, to help you like it a little bit more, Skull, Spirit
What's
Science
that?
actually I've seen Spirit Science before Paradigm Shift, but it
Yeah.
led me to Paradigm Shift.
Yeah.
So that's something that's something good that's come out of it. So
I know, and
makes you feel a bit better about it.
No, and I totally do, and like that's the thing. Like a spirit science again. Like spirit science is good in multiple ways, and and like I'm still grateful for it, and that's why like it's all these mixed emotions. But yeah, like I recognize that in the past, because of the connections that I had with spirit science, like directly, that multiple people because paradigm shift is mentioned in one of the spirit science videos, have found paradigm shift through spirit science. So like in that sense, like it's interesting how things sort of network from that to that. But yeah, no, you're right. You're not the only one, Shane. So thank you, spirit science. Oh, that's hard to say.
It's okay. You did it, buddy. You did it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spirit Science.
Yeah, thanks, Spirit Science. Like, seriously, because it's, like, again, I have to see it as, like, a part of the bigger picture of everything happening for a reason. And to, like, hate it in any sense is, like, we should only hate it so that we can figure out why we hate it and then use that as, like, a way to transform that energy into something creative. Opposed to just pretending that we don't hate it, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think you could say that for anything. Go ahead, Mike.
I think you should be like, I don't know. It's like if you're going in a certain direction, right? It's like it just depends. Like I get this really new agey kind of like, just like picking like just random names out of a hat or something. Whenever like Spirit Science decides to write an article or makes a video, and I mean I'm not trying to sound like I'm judging. I just get this woo kind of feeling whenever I watch something from Spirit Science, and I don't get that same feeling whenever I watch your videos, Brendon, or anything on Paradigm Shift. I know that there's definitely research has been done, and definitely backing up everything you guys have to say, you know, or at least trying to.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, okay, just to clarify, and then no more talk about spirit science. Yeah, like to give you like a little bit of context in terms of like drawing this back to like the vision for paradigm shift, is that with some of the stuff that spirit science puts out, it's obvious. Excuse me. It's obvious that like part of their motivation, and again, like I'm putting this into context to be able to explain like what paradigm shift will be as well. Their motivation seems as if it's like half about like putting out content and then half about gaining ad revenue through their website. So like that's why a lot of their stuff is clickbaity. So it seems that like more so than anything, sometimes they'll just like post up articles that are like super clickbaity just so that they can like earn revenue from their clicks and stuff like that. So like that's why, okay, so for me it all comes back to like integrity, I guess would be the word. And for me, like I sense like a lack of like integrity from spirit science, and I understand that like Jordan's not the only one posting it and stuff, but yeah, like it just yeah, I'll just sort of like leave it at that. So like what I want to be able to do with paradigm shift articles is to like really make the articles like original content, make it stuff that we're creating, and make it stuff that's like, you know, well written and just like fun and entertaining and educational, opposed to just, again, you know, what spirit science is doing, they'll just like copy other people's content, put it on their website, post it up through the Facebook, draw people to their website, earn revenue off that, and then like that's their format, you know. So like their format seems to be more about like selling out and stuff like that. But again, like I'll hold my tongue because I know like a lot of people are still connecting through the community. But again, I just want you guys to be transparent. That's like a part of something that I've had to see within myself. But again, using that as like motivation towards like furthering the vision of what it is that I wish to see. So.
Unfortunately, there's a big shadow within the spiritual community as well, which is sort of why I tend to try and hermit. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so with that said, move through. We can always go back to the topic of the shadow stuff. But I would like to be able to wrap this up within the next half hour. And I know I said that a half hour ago, but that's totally cool. It's not like Shane needs to go to bed or anything. It's only like, Shane, what time is it?
I'll
Is it
tell
4
you, no, it's 4:45.
Oh, shit, it's 5 a.m. Okay. Well, that's a Shane. Maybe you can do a bit of your intro type thing, and then we also have Michael, who has joined us, Michael Pratt, and Angela, who also hasn't done her official introduction yet, but we have heard from a little bit. But yeah, so Shane, we'll do a little bit of an intro with you, just like who you are, where you're from, maybe some things you're interested in, anything that you're doing to like help assist in the shift in consciousness, or what the shift looks like from where you are, and how you're feeling right now. So go ahead.
Well, I'll start with the last one. I actually feel fantastic because I haven't been to one of these in absolutely ages, and well, it's so good to be here because I don't know, you just feel so much love from everyone who's here, and we just discuss like absolutely anything. Nothing's sort of a taboo, and it's nice to have that openness, and as you related to transparency as well. Yeah, so my name's Shane. I'm actually from Liverpool in the UK. I don't know, it's been about 2 years since I got introduced to Paradigm Shift, and I used to be sort of listening to the radio show all the time and coming to the Hangout, and then I don't know, there's a sort of hermit theme going around, but I sort of did the same thing. I had a little bit of a hermit moment where, I don't know, I signed off from everything in a way, and I stopped sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I was still on Facebook, obviously, because even though we say I'm not going to go on Facebook, we're always bloody on the thing. But I stopped sort of, the sort of posts to do with consciousness and to do with the paradigm shift and stuff started leaving my newsfeed. Like, I wasn't seeing them as often, and I was just seeing friends' posts. Now, I was seeing all good stuff like it, but because I'm not really bothered about the news. It doesn't really bother me. But now I don't know. I've come full circle, I suppose, and I'm back into it, and I'm because I've got my own paradigm shift page, which I set up when I first started listening to the radio, which is Paradigm Shift Liverpool, and it's literally been about 9 months since I posted on it, and then I posted on it the other day. But the weird thing is, even though I haven't been posting, people have still been liking it, and it's got like 1,700 likes. So I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, man! I just I'm on it right now. What? Yeah, where did these likes come from?
But yeah,
it's funny.
And yeah, so I suppose I haven't really been doing anything within the community to sort of aid like the shift, but I have been doing a lot of stuff within myself, and like I said before, when I have those days where I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered doing anything today, I just allow myself to have them, and if I have those days where I feel like absolute crap, I'm just going to stay in bed. I do, because I can. So I just, yeah. And the other thing I do, I suppose, is when I'm with other people, like even if I'm with family members, or if I'm just out in the street and I start a conversation with someone, at the bus stop, as you do, I end up having those conversations about consciousness and about the shift in things and the way that things are moving. And I think, in a way, that's me attracting it to myself, because I want to be able to have those conversations with people. I want to be able to be within that community. So yeah, like I said, I feel fantastic. I absolutely love these things. I'd come to one of these every single day and then just sleep all day. It wouldn't bother me at all. I'd wake up just for this. But yeah, I genuinely do love these. And like I said, yeah, I don't know, a couple of years ago I came to Paradigm Shift, and it's absolutely amazing and fantastic to see it still going. And like a massive round of applause to you, Skull, for doing that, because it's nice to know that even if you go away for a couple of months, you can always come back to it, and the same people are still there. Well, not even the same people, but the same main man is still there. The person you can relate to, the person that that you can talk to, is still there. So yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, it was a surprise to see you in here when I was just setting it up. I was just like, What? Like shades here. Oh my god. It's funny though, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just ask you too, man. Like, how do you feel? How do you feel that you've evolved like over the past while since we sort of like last spoke and stuff? Because I mean, I was sort of saying I was kind of seeing your posts on Facebook and stuff, and generally like there's just like a lot of like optimism coming out of you and everything like that. Like, how do you feel like you've sort of changed as an individual? Do you think?
I suppose the word I'd go for is I've matured, because when I first came to Paradigm Shift, I was one of those people, and I don't mean this as any offense to anyone. I was one of those people who was like, consciousness shift, yeah, chakras, yeah, crystals, yeah, oh my god, yeah. So I was like, I was a really enthusiastic person. I was like, yeah. And then after that fizzled out, it was a bit like, okay then, now let's get serious. So those sorts of I come across now, and I'll read quotes, and I'll read posts that I'll see on Facebook. I'll see videos that get put up, and what's fantastic is that all these posts and videos that I'm coming across is the type of videos that I want to see. So like the optimism stuff, the quotes that come along that actually say stuff about having the best life that you want and then attracting it to yourself. And I am a really strong believer in attracting your own sort of life and attracting the circumstances that you're in. And for some people that's hard to grasp. For some people, you sit back and they'll say, oh yeah, I've got no money, or obviously in some situations there is situations where it is hard, but I am a firm believer in that you attract the circumstances that you're in, and you attract to yourself what you want to attract. So I work on a daily basis, I suppose, at attracting the circumstances that I want to have. Like, do you know what? It's really funny as well. It sounds silly, but I feel like it's working and happening a lot faster as well. Like, even down to the point where I'll be stood outside my house after getting off my bike. I'll have my bike up against the window, and in my head I'll go, right, I don't want it to fall. About 30 seconds later, it falls over. So I know it seems like a silly thing, but it's like that attracting my own circumstances. It's like it works and it's happening, and even those negative things where it's like I don't want my bike to fall over, but my bike falls over because I've just asked for it to happen. So it's like that's where I am, and that's the position I'm in now. Is I don't know, realizing the power that I've got and the power that other people have got as well in attracting the situation I want to be in.
That's really cool. Yeah, like I remember from way back, like even when we were first started talking about this shift, I was always like putting out the theory of like how things were accelerating, how synchronicity was becoming like more readily available, and I think like there is a bigger wave that's a part of, but I feel like more so than anything, like it's an internal thing. So the synchronicities become more synchronistic, like more prominent, more readily available, like as we mature. And so, and I think like mature is kind of like a very applicable word also within a spiritual sense, because I think there's almost like this part of the universe that might be kind of like babysitting us too, right? Where it's just like whoa, like don't want to make like things too obvious, don't want to put too many synchronicities at them. Like let's just sort of like wait till they're ready enough to sort of like be able to see the messages like with an open, with a good vision and a good heart and stuff like that. So
it's weird that you said that as well, because you go through that toddler phase where you're like, no, I want the synchronicities. Why aren't I getting enough synchronicities? Why aren't enough people throwing them at me? Why aren't I meeting people in the street that I can go, oh my God, you know this, and you go through that. Like you said, babysitting. It is like that toddler phase where you want everything now, and you can't wait for it. And then, like I said, you mature and you sort of go, oh well. If it happens, it happens.
That's true, right?
Well, you gotta quiet down to hear it,
Yeah, definitely. God, yeah, you gotta stop.
you gotta stay still, and then you'll see it. Then it will become apparent.
Which is something we forget to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's totally like the thing where, you know, like it's once you stop looking for it that it comes to you. You know, like that's a huge like ancient thing, but there's totally some truth to that. You know, whether it be relationships, whether it be like that perfect job opportunity, it's a balance between, you know, I always say like meeting the universe halfway. So you don't want to be like 100% passive 100% of the time, but you don't want to be like constantly too aggressive. You kind of have to move forward without expectations, but like good optimism as well, and just sort of like things will come when the time is right, and really honor that process.
Do you know
And
what that makes me
God.
think of, though? To be complete, like it just to sort of plays devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always sort of lives by that rule of you stop looking and it happens. So if you believe in that enough, they're the circumstances you're attracted to yourself. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like, yeah, it does work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I was sitting here thinking, why does it work? And it's like, well, maybe because we believe in it that much that we're attracting it to ourselves. And we're like, right, okay, I'm going to stop looking and it's going to happen. And the universe goes, all right, then, yes, sound. There you go. So, I don't know, just sort of a...
Yeah, it's like one of these like mirroring effects of like, yeah, like which came before the other sort of thing, right? Yeah. You just like try like so hard not to, just be like, watch, I'm gonna manifest this. But I mean, again, you know, it's a simple technique of like when it comes to manifestation that I feel that works quite effective is like target, intention, release, and the release part is like the tricky part that a lot of people have trouble with. So, you know, like target, like it can be like a specific like creation. Intention is like the also like the act of doing, and also you know, just like what it is that you want out of it, sort of thing. You know, whether you want it for like personal gain or sort of more benevolent purposes, and then just like letting go. I mean, I just it'd be nice if there was just like an instruction manual about reality that just became readily available someday. But then again, I think the Hermetic principles kind of talk a little bit about that. So that rule book already exists in a variety of forms, or at least a lens into it. Sort of does.
Whatever I've read about attraction and stuff, one of the things that stuck out for me was somebody said, I think it might have been Bob Proctor actually said that when you want something, when you want to achieve a goal, you can manifest it, but unless you can see the steps for you to get to that position, you're making the universe do a hell of a lot of work. Because if you can see yourself in that place, like say for instance, like I love to sing, and that's what my YouTube channel is, it's just doing covers of songs. If I want to see myself being, say, famous, I can see myself doing it. I can picture myself on stage, but unless I also know the steps to get me there and manifest each step, it's going to be a hell of a lot of work trying to get to that end goal without intentionally seeing myself and being able to work at each individual goal and eventually manifesting the end goal at the end. Then, so that's one of the most important things I ever sort of took from any of the law of attraction stuff that I've read or listened to, is that instead of just like trying to manifest the end goal, manifest the stops in between that get you there.
No, that is a good point. Yeah, like and that's a good reminder, is that remembering that it does, you know, it's all like little tiny steps that equal up. I think about that a lot with the website. The website, like, there's so many little things that I still am doing, but I can see the big vision. But yeah, I can't just think of the big vision. I have to think about the little steps that make the big vision.
Yeah.
But
it's from what it was when I first came to it to what it is now. You have done a hell of a lot of work, and like I said, you can only applaud you for that. You've kept it going, and you've been the brainchild and the foundations.
It's victory is a shared success, I always like to think, and that's the exciting thing, is that like we're still just getting started. But basically, to give you guys a bit of context, I didn't fully explain this before, but you know, you can almost think of Paradigm Shift Central is also evolving kind of into like a television broadcast network. But again, you know, like television is more than just on television now, but it is like a broadcast network. So, you know, like I'm looking to be able to invite you guys in to like help be reporters and journalists of consciousness. So if that helps you sort of wrap your head around what it is that we're creating, then, you know, all the better. But yeah, like that's definitely what it is that we're moving towards. It's like creating, like, Paradigm Shift Central is going to be like Paradigm Shift Central. You know, people can go there and access it like a media center, and they can sort of see like all the amazing things going on. So it'll be really cool. And I know you guys, and that's why I want to keep like giving us space to practice. You know, that's why the quest journals are there, and then again working ourselves up towards like more media. But it begins with practice. You know, you can't make it like a super like amazing video on your first try. Maybe you can. You can. You can. I believe in you. But again, you know, like it takes the practice, and you got to like start off with like the simple ones. So
I'd definitely go with those tutorial videos that you said earlier on. I need them.
Yeah, I'll put them together for you. It's not too hard, but eventually the internet will become more intuitive, and I want to make the website as intuitive as possible. That's kind of part of the inspiration behind it. Simple too, simple and intuitive, yet effective and complex. So cool.
That's funny that you say
Michael,
that, because I mean I don't know when I got the idea. That's like kind of been all on my mind like these past few weeks, is just like I want to get a video and just start recording. It's like I have the information, I have everything I need. It's just I think I just want to make like really good quality videos.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where I'm at. But I mean I see it as so much of a benefit, because we know what it's like to have fear-based media or fear propaganda in the news and stuff like that. So if you could take that skill of reporting or sharing news, but instead of all the horrible crap that happens in a day, maybe some of the positive things that could happen in a day, and then and have some solutions to, you know, I mean, this is something I say, but it's like, to me it's important. It's like if somebody's going to complain about something, yes, it's good to listen to that person, but also like let's work towards a solution. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I was typing there. Yeah, like I just when it comes to the media and stuff like that, like Mike, I would love to be able to encourage you on that, because like I think just with a lot of the information that you have access to and everything, like I think again, you know, like as a team, like that can be our objective. Be like, all right, you know, like how do we get this message to that 17-year-old kid who just happens to stumble across our website, you know, sort of thing. Like that is like really what the target audience is. Like it's easy for us to sort of like get kind of it's easier for us to sort of like feel redundant when it comes to some of the spiritual topics and the spiritual themes, and be like, oh, you know, like I just did like a 5-hour presentation about that like last week. I don't want to like talk about that again for like a whole nother month or whatever. But it's just how can we get that like 5 hours into like a 10-minute video? And sometimes that can be, you know, like really the editing is gonna be like what makes it successful. So, you know, you have like simple images dissolving, slight movement, music in the background, maybe a written out script. You don't even have to have yourself on screen. You can just have like the audio recorded. And I've seen like people who do videos like that. For example, there's videos that I've been watching of a guy who's been talking about Star Wars theories. Like literally, they're just like images of Star Wars from all over the place, and it's just like him talking about his theories, and they're like very simple, like not super exciting, but the audience loves them, you know. And it's like, why? And it's just like, how can we sort of do that related to esoteric knowledge? You know, how can we do like a video like that related to like the Hermetic principles, or, you know, anything that we want to do? So I mean, when it comes to the conscious media we're creating, you know, like I want to be able to encourage us to think about the variety of formats to it. There's like the format where it's like taking the camera and turning it on ourselves and making it more about our own journey and what it is that we're going through, and it's also like part of our own journaling process, which is really important. And then you are going to do other videos where you pick a topic and you like know what you're doing ahead of time, and you sort of, you know, you might work on it for like a couple weeks or whatever. But like as we do those and as we start packaging those together, like each one of those becomes like a laser that we can like shoot out into the internet and everything. And again, you know, like the main website, like the Paradigm Shift Central website, is like the cannon, and the media that we're creating is the munition, the ammunition. So every time we have like a good video, we can load it up into the cannon, we can fire it out to the internet. And like that's why like I'm really confident with what it is that we have, because I mean, from the videos that I've been making over the years, each one of those like I can re-release through the website, and they'll be brand new to people. You know, just because we made something like 5 years ago doesn't mean it's like extinct, right? Like we can constantly sort of like make them new, sort of thing. So yeah, but yeah, man, like we can definitely talk about that some more now, and I would love to do some team building hangouts where it's more sort of like a work oriented period, and you know, we can. Yeah, and we can sort of like work on an individual video through a hangout or whatever it is that we got going on. But yeah.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think if you could really, just like you said, with a reporter, because we know what it's like to hear somebody on the news report something, and they're just not always. Sometimes there's actual stuff that's going on, but a lot of times you get the sense of they are trying to scare you. So I feel if we can take that reporting skill and put that towards not trying to scare people, trying to empower people, I definitely see definitely a shift or rise in empowering people, I guess, you know, helping inspire people, and a balance to that fear propaganda stuff. We got enough of that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, I'll respond. I just want to be able to. Zoe's about to head out. Zoe, did you want to say goodnight to the internet before you head out?
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Good night.
Good night, Zoe. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Sweet dreams and dream your reality.
Dream well.
Alright, talk to you later, Zoe. Cool. Yeah, okay, so just yeah, like in response to that, and kind of we'll aim to wrap up soon-ish. Yeah, again, like creating conscious media is like such a cool thing that we have the ability to do, and you know, technology is evolving, and we're going to be seeing the evolution of media evolve with it as well. And you know, soon we're going to be getting in. Like, I'll just fill you guys in on a really cool thing that we're going to be doing. The other day, my 360 camera came in the mail. So this is a 360 camera. So it doesn't literally shoot all 360. Like you can't see the bottom of it. But what I'm planning on doing with this, and this is like an expensive piece of hardware that I personally like, you know, invested in, but it's for good reason, is that I'm going to use this for the Paradigm Shift meetings. So like for the Paradigm Shift London meetings, you can put this like in the middle of the circle, and then people can watch the video. And the way how 360 video footage works, if you guys aren't familiar, is that when people watch it on YouTube and Facebook, they can use their mouse or their tablet or whatever they're on to like look around. So it's not just fixed in one location. So it will actually be like a virtual reality experience, which brings them into that place. So like that's kind of what I feel is like really just one of the frontiers that we're moving into, you know, like virtual reality. So like being able to bring people into a physical paradigm shift meeting is super cool. And then again, you know, like with the whole paradigm shift thing, like, and I think this is, you know, part of what makes it a little bit different from not just spirit science, but even any of the other pages, the common ones at least, minus collective evolution. Collective evolution is like the biggest one that I like. You know, I'm friends with the guys at Collective Evolution. They make their own content. They have integrity more so than you know, again, like some of the other pages and stuff like that.
SS.
But yeah, but what I was gonna say though, you know, and what I feel is that what we can do and continue to do is that more so than the videos just be something that you watch and then turn off. Like the videos should be like a call to action, you know, encouraging you to go out there and get involved in your real world community. And even if it just does mean like inspiring people to have the courage to like spark up conversations with synchronistic encounters and like people at bus stops and things like that. So, you know, like that is part of what being a shifter is about. So, you know, like that's why, like, again, you know, with this Paradigm Shift Central project as a game, like by gamifying it, it gives it a little bit more context that people can relate to. And again, you know, the objective of the game is to help plant seeds, is to help assist in the shift in consciousness. And in order to do that, you do it through the online world, but you do it through the offline world as well. And that's why like the shift buttons are going to be like super valuable for more people in the future and everything. And I want to be able to get you guys like synced up with that. And again, you know, like ordering those is like a way to support the project and stuff. And like it's my plan to like sell like a bunch of shift buttons in the near future, because I think like those just have like a really exciting value to them and everything. So again, you know, like those are like your real world tokens for like spell casting that you can use to literally play the game and stuff. So yeah, I always want to be able to talk about shift buttons, but I always like I'll save it for another video. I always kind of, but yeah, I'll just say for anybody listening to this, go to the main website, go to the link that says shift buttons, and browse that if you haven't yet, because that's like part of the updates on the website, which I haven't really fully gotten into in this episode. That I mentioned I was going to, but I just browse the website and take a look, and then I'll go over it a little bit more in a future video. But definitely click the shift buttons part, and if you want to order shift buttons, you can do that like right now. And then also to be able to support the project even more, you can unlock a perk that gives you 25% bonus to your shift button orders. And the way how you do that is by signing up as a monthly member through my Patreon. So like that's, again, you know, like a big part of what this project is focusing on right now for myself personally is that for the sake of the project, I have to be able to like mastermind a way to be able to generate good commerce through this project. And doing that will be through shift button sales and through like t-shirt sales, and that is like what allows me to make X number of dollars a month, which allows me to continue to do this. Because otherwise my mom's just going to constantly be like, you know, like, go get a real job, this isn't working. But I'm just like, no, you know, like I can believe, like I know this is totally possible. And so like getting people on board with the game aspect of this and then explaining to them how the shift buttons tie into that is really what makes this exciting. So, you know, it's inviting people to make an investment into this community, and it's more so, and that's the thing, like it's something that they get something out of as well, because there is like the real world experience aspect to it. You know, the shift buttons aren't just something you wear, each one represents like an actual real world experience that you're tapping into as well. So yeah, like if you guys want to sign up through my Patreon on the website, click the link that says exclusive rewards and perks available, or just patreon.com/Brendon Culliton. Sign up for that, and then order shift buttons, and you'll get a 25% bonus to your order. So you can quickly make your money back. The shift buttons are also a way for you guys to like make your own money, because you could totally like sell the shift buttons on your end. You could like, each shift button costs about $1 to buy them through the online store, which is super cheap to begin with, but you could always sell those for like $2 or $3 a pop to people in your community, or give them away, which is also the other tactic. And then if you're doing that, like, you're actually starting to like make money off shift buttons. So it's this whole system that I've kind of got mapped out, but I feel it's going to be really effective. And again, like you'll be seeing more of that in the future. You guys will be seeing me, like, I haven't been pushing out the shift buttons yet because I still want to get the website good, because first impressions are like a big part of any social media tactic. You know, like, I don't want to start trying to draw people to the website if the website isn't fully functional. But at this point, it's like really close to like getting ready to go, which is what you'll see in the next few days, because I'm going to be releasing some new videos soon. But yeah, the shift buttons are like a super awesome thing that I feel that we got within this community. So yeah, cool. Okay, it looks like Angela had to head out, but yeah, all the best to Angela. Thank you so much for being here as well. And so with that said, we hadn't given Michael a chance to do like a little intro if you wanted to do that, Michael, or if Maria and the little munchkin want to say hello. Aw, so adorable. Aww. Hello.
Hello.
It's too cute. Cool. Maria, if you just want to type something into the chat, feel free, just like any message that you want to just share with people of the internet. Feel free. But yeah, Michael, we can pass it over to you. Some of the simple questions we were asking, just like where we are, where we live, what are we interested in, and again, part of the reason behind introducing yourself is the idea that people who are going to listen to this podcast, which will continue to grow as more people find out about the website, will like get to know you, and then when they tune into the next broadcast, if you happen to be there, they'll be able to like see this unfolding story. So like that's kind of the cool thing. It's like developing the relationship.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's developing the relationship between ourselves and the audience who we're communicating with. Because that's the thing. Like, if I do my job properly, like this podcast alone will be heard by at least 200 people. At least 200 people, and that number will only continue to grow. But again, 200 people is like a decent amount. But that's no pressure either. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, just if you want to do a little introduction of yourself again. So what you're interested in. One of the questions we ask is like how are you helping assist in the shift? If there's something involved in your community or any personal projects that you're working on, or even if it's just like any personal growth and introspection. And then the question that we're all asking is like, how do you feel? How do you feel in this moment? Because we were talking about 2016 is all about like feelings. It's kind of like a big theme that we're running with. So the more we feel, the more that we can like take steps forward towards remembering more. So if there's anything you want to share, and yeah, it's good to see you here, Michael. It's awesome. I'm glad you're able to join in. So.
Yeah. Well, my name is Michael Pratt. I also go by the name MAP. It's kind of like my alter ego hip hop name. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. It looks laggy on my phone.
We're coming through okay. Keep going.
Okay. Hey, 1111. Well, basically, I'm 22. I'm from Austin, Texas. That's where I stay at, and basically, I've studied metaphysics, esotericism, you name it, mystical subjects for since, I don't know, maybe I was about 15, 16. I was always drawn to it, but I'd say in about maybe three or 4 years afterwards of really getting into it, I had an experience where I just looked at consciousness in a kind of a different way. So I think the way that I look at it is more from a psychological aspect of it, and things blow my mind. I mean, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of practices that you can do and have your own experiences. But I think with me, I stick to more of the practical aspects of, what can we do with this kind of thing. So, yeah, but as far as shifting consciousness, I put videos out there. Most of my stuff, I would say, gets heard through Facebook and stuff. I have a lot of Facebook, I don't want to call them disciples, but people that like my stuff, I guess, and so kind of I look at the, I guess, expansion of consciousness in a little bit of a different way, looking more at the practical and the psychological aspects of it. But all in all, is still consciousness. So yeah, I didn't want to make that too long.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. How? So the other question would be, how do you feel?
About that?
How do you feel right now?
Oh,
Right now.
right now, I feel well. I lost my grandpa passed last week, so things have been kind of hard, with my family and stuff like that. But my grandpa taught me a lot of things, and he was a Mason. Uh, he was also in the Air Force, a retired veteran. Um, so he taught me a lot. But besides that, I mean, I've been pretty well. Besides that, yeah, trying to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. Like, I mean, yeah, no, and thanks for sharing and everything, because, like, I know, yeah, like you mentioned on it, like your relationship with your grandfather was obviously like a really important one, and like, and I think that's really neat that, like he was a Freemason and stuff. Like, was that part of like your introduction to some of like the esoteric schools and stuff? Was through him, or?
Yes, we were both the same sign, Scorpio. So not always that doesn't make just because a person's Scorpio that they're interested in mystical stuff, but I know that he was the guy that was always like, figure out what's going on with 9/11. I believe in you. You'll figure it out. And just he wanted to know he wanted to know the truth, and so that was definitely a part of me, and I don't know, maybe he's behind me waving, somewhere in the ethers or something, but yeah, yeah, he gave me his old Masonic ring, and
Wow.
so I have something to remember him by. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Goku and his grandpa's Dragon Ball. I mean, I know it's an anime, but it's like when I think about it, I'm like, that's totally captures the feeling, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like it's always really interesting, like losing a grandparent. I've experienced that as well, and like with my grandfather, like I was really close to him when he passed a few years ago. But it's interesting because there's almost, for me, like there's also this like call to duty, in a sense that we know that they're going to die eventually. Like, it's no surprise that they pass. It comes with age and everything. Maybe sometimes it's sudden, sometimes it's illness, but evidently it's inevitable. It's kind of expected that we will see our grandparents pass on. That is part of our experience as like young youth, to be able to like be like gifted that experience of being able to have that, to be able to see that, and to be able to see how we can respond out of it. And that's where, like, my similar to your grandfather, my grandfather was, very, very intelligent man, just like encouraging people to think outside the box. And like that's where, like, for me, like, as sad as it was, like when my grandfather passed, I was just like, all right, like now, like I'm gonna, like, he will live on through the passion that I put into my work, that I put into like
Yes.
our shared journey to like help change the world, to help shift consciousness, and that's where, like, I feel like, yeah, like for me, like my granddad's like still very much with me. And then it's kind of like this idea where, there's, state the obvious, like he as a soul, he's more effective beyond his physical body than just being like restrained to a hospital bed, which was the case with my grandfather as well, you know. So it's just like, in that sense, like you're happy for them as well, because like when we deal with grief, sometimes it can be very selfish without us realizing, you know. It's just like, it's like we're sad that they left, but sometimes we put our own sadness and grief ahead of like what it was that their soul was experiencing, you know. Like their soul was like stuck in, sometimes, you know, just like a body that just wasn't capable of keeping up, and then, you know, when the time came, and then at that sense, you know, it's death is like taking off a tight boot, and you can be very happy for the soul when it passes on, you know. You can just like, wow, you know, like thumbs up, like you did it, you went through your incarnation, like holy shit, like that is a huge accomplishment, you know. Like death is an accomplishment in some ways as well.
If you live that long, you know, I mean, he made it to 85. So
yeah,
for a guy, you know, guys didn't always live that long, you know, in previous history. So to make it to 85 and after brain surgery, that is, I think it was all his will, or God's will, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. He hung on. But yeah, definitely. I'm sure if he heard this, he would be happy.
For sure, man. And I mean, like, be sure that he is hearing this. You know, like, what part of us? Why do we doubt? Why do we, you know, like with all our spiritual beliefs, why do we doubt that, you know, the all-knowing universe, like everything's recorded, you know? So everything is like something that like they are witnessing. I mean, if that's the belief that sort of like works with your perception of reality. Yeah, because I mean, it's common for us, you know. It's just like we'll do that. We're just like, you know, we're just like, oh, you know, like I wish they could be here right now. It's just like, but they are here right now, you know, like, and we've told ourselves that 100 times, and then there'll still be like a voice in our head that will like tell us otherwise and stuff like that. But I think that's like a natural like human thing. I think that's even like a part of the grief, the grieving process. You know, sort of goes through stages and everything. But I think. You know, evidently, like I can only see you becoming stronger through the experience, through the relationship that you've like had with your grandfather. You know, like it sounds like you know, like you had like, you know, it was a, not everyone had your grandfather as a grandfather. And to hear how you guys like got along with each other, and again, like how, you know, it's this good quote. It's actually from like The Good Dinosaur, but it's the idea that like you are everything he is and more, kind of thing, you know. And that's kind of like what it is to, like with all of our ancestors. Like we are all of our ancestors combined and more. You know, we are our grandfathers like 2.0 sort of thing. So like
that's true.
New generation. Let's keep the mission going. You know? So,
Grandpa 2.0.
It's interesting because it's like some of the last things he said. You know, every time I asked him, I said, "Oh, do you think I should become a Mason?" He said, "Yeah, that's a good outfit." Those are his words. I never said the word outfit.
Outfit.
That's.
He wasn't just talking physical clothing too, eh?
No, I mean, those are his words. I wouldn't say that because that's I don't hear that in my common language, but it's cool. It's like he had his own style, and it's like he said it's a good outfit, and I always wanted to give him the secret handshake, and I did. And when he passed, I mean, he had already passed, but that secret handshake. One of them is said to be like, well, I can't tell it to anybody, but it's one of those secret. Well, you can look it up now. I mean, my grandma was like, you know, you can look it up, but Google it, and you can find. But what that means is like, there's a certain secret handshake that it's supposed to be the idea of that like walks through death or goes. It's like kind of like the Egyptian tradition, but somehow got in Masonry, that one of the handshakes is like to go beyond death in a way. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. And I'm not trying to sound spooky. It's just something that I heard. And I try to give it to him, even though he may have not been there in his body. I was like, you know, I'm not necessarily a Mason yet, but here's a handshake, you know. And so stuff like that, I find is really interesting. That in that old tradition, or in that tradition, they had something to go beyond death. I mean, it's yeah, not to sound too serious or deep or whatever, but it's I think that's amazing.
For sure, man. Yeah.
Have you heard of anything like that before?
No, not that specific. Not from the Mason side. Not that specific saying. I'm curious as to which handshake it is, though. I just ran a search on Google, like secret Mason handshakes and stuff. And I don't know if it's like one of the
Not
ones
all
that
of
show.
it. Like it's interesting because there's Masons that like know there's some mystical aspect to this, and then there's others that are just very materialistic, you know. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just, what's your slice, you know? What are you looking to get out of this? But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely get into some more research related to like Mason teachings and stuff like that. It'd be another hangout and stuff. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. That's cool. Awesome.
It's a good outfit. Yeah.
It's a good outfit. So that's why, like being a shifter is like my outfit, and it involves like wearing buttons and riding a skateboard sometimes. So.
Well, I would say I had no idea that you were gonna be Spider-Man too.
Dude, yeah, that was funny. I saw that post and I'm just like, oh, glad I'm not the only one riding that wave. So.
Yeah, that was
got the costume.
Synchronicity right there. We are sort of the same character in a way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, yeah, like when we see that, like sort of similar energy patterns coming through other people, similar archetypes coming through other people, definitely. Yeah, that's cool. Awesome, man.
But I appreciate it, man. Definitely thanks to shout out for my grandpa and everything. That's
yeah. What was his name?
George.
George. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, shout out to George as well. So, a shifter beyond our time. So, you heard it. Cool, man. Well, that's awesome, dude. And you know what? Like, journaling wise and stuff like that, like, you know, if you sort of let go of expectations and sort of be open to stuff, like, who knows, man? You might wake up one morning with a very interesting dream to talk about. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the bridge is not, you know, there's still a bridge between our world and where they are. Like, that's kind of beyond death, you know. That's the interesting part.
That's true. Yeah. Wow.
Cool. Man, all right. Well, it's like 12:30 a.m. where I am right now, and yeah, I'd love to just be able to wrap this up soon enough with you guys. But before we do that, I was actually just going to go around and sort of get us to sort of reflect on any simple intentions we want to share for ourselves for the coming week. And if you guys want to do that, does anybody, or Michael, is there anything else that you wanted to add, or do you want to share maybe your intentions first, since we were talking?
My intentions is that at least on this planet there seems to be, that sounds so weird to say, on this planet, where we are, there seems to be like some type of vibrational thing going on where it's like you have to be really integrated in what you know, what you believe, that whole thing. Because it's like, if you're not, it seems, not saying it's always the case, but people just, it's, those people are staying just firmly planted, and they're not getting swayed by anything. So I'd say my intentions, I guess for now or for this year, is to stay true to your knowing, what you know to be true, moral-wise, ethic-wise, everything that's been taught to you that has value for you, is to really just integrate that into your being, and let it be a part of you, and then share that, or just I would just say be a living example of that, and inner peace. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, so
Those are my intentions.
integration.
Integration.
I like that.
I'm not trying to sound that deep, man. It just
This is all just practiced anyways, man, so it's good.
Yeah.
Words are very challenging sometimes.
I've got my script over there.
She's got
I'm
script.
joking.
Cool. Okay, just before we go around the intentions, I just wanted to share Maria from earlier when I asked Maria to write in the chat if she wanted to share anything. And Maria said, she says, my name is Maria. I go by Angel Eyes V4 or just Angel Eyes. Well, you're inspiring to get more active. You're inspiring me to get more active on my YouTube and blogs. I love to get more involved. That's how my journey started too. So that's good. Yeah, Maria, I think she's still typing. Maria, if there's more you want to type, go for it. But yeah, Maria, you're super beautiful, and super, like, congrats on, like, the little angel and everything with you now too. So
The little angel.
yeah. And yeah, I would love to see, again, I would love to see more videos. Seriously, like any videos from you guys, just practice.
That's definitely what I'm working on, is better quality videos.
Yeah, like I know, Mike, I know you film a lot of your stuff like off your iPhone sometimes, and sometimes it's sort of got like that vertical video format. Like, yeah, like those videos, like as good as those videos are to like the person scrolling in the feed, they're probably more likely to go past them than not, just because they see like a lot of like sort of, it's just presentation means a lot. And I think that's times where like sometimes like, in honor of the information that we're sharing, if it means like setting up a camera and just like filming it with like a regular camera, or I don't know if like yours is always going to be vertical, but if you just like film it tilted sideways and it shoots it on the 16:9 ratio or whatever, something that can fit into like a proper YouTube video too. And again, like sometimes so many people post awesome things, but they'll just post them to Facebook and then they'll just like disappear within like a month of Facebook time. So that's why like I want to remind you guys to like, if you can make stuff for Facebook, but then like your more like specific stuff, make sure that gets uploaded to YouTube, because like with the way how the website works, that's where like all the embedding happens. Like I don't embed Facebook posts. Like make YouTube like the origin, and then we'll duplicate things on Facebook, depending on what it is. Sometimes stuff will originate on Facebook and stuff, but yeah, no, like technical production wise, there's a whole like workshop lesson there in itself. But again, like just if it takes a few extra minutes, it's going to be worth it. In order for that video's reach to be like expanded and stuff, and for it to like have more longevity as well. So
well, yeah, that's definitely what I'm working at. Well, yeah, I learned that with the video. So the one that I made today, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna put it sideways, and it came out a lot better quality.
Is that? I'm just on your page right now. Did you post a video? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, even just the fact that it's sideways like makes a big difference than the vertical videos. Yeah, totally. Yeah, dude, this looks like good stuff. Like or this is a video. This is from 2013. Am I looking at the right one?
2003. I posted one today. It was just kind of like a little thing I was working on.
Okay.
As of a dog.
I don't. Okay. I must have. How did I miss it or whatever? Because I saw there's a post that you shared 10 hours ago, from 2013 of a video that you put up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was with a different camera. That was with.
Yeah. Oh, there's a.
That was this camera.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That doesn't.
Made with VidLabs. Is that a website for editing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, yeah, definitely though. Yeah, film horizontal. Don't film vertical. There is a place for vertical, but I think like there's some platforms that are going to be like more integrating vertical stuff. But for now, horizontal would be the way to go, I would say. And Facebook always decreases video quality too, anyways. It's not like the best encoder. Yeah.
So YouTube gives a better.
Yeah, YouTube will keep the quality a little bit more intact and stuff. And yeah, and YouTube lets me put it into playlists and stuff. So like that puts it into the Paradigm Shift TV. And I'll just say that again, you know, for people listening to this, after you're done listening to this or whenever, go turn on the Paradigm Shift TV. So you can go to live.paradigmshiftcentral.com/TV, or in your HUD, again, your heads-up display, which is like your main menu on the website. There's the part where it says turn on PSC TV, and turn that on, and you'll be able to see like what Paradigm Shift TV is about, which is like all of the videos archived, which is like over 400 videos, but then set up with like a randomized algorithm so that every time it's like kind of like flipping through a TV channel and you're going to be seeing like different videos every time. And then that's going to include your guys' videos in the future. So think about the possibility that in 1 year from now, some kid will be watching Paradigm Shift Central TV, and the random algorithm will bring your video in front of him, and like that video will have the potential to like deliver like some interesting information to him at that moment. So it's kind of like through the Paradigm Shift Central TV, everything becomes new again. Even videos that are like 5 years old are suddenly new because they are equally as capable as being seen as anything that has recently been uploaded. So it's like bringing back the TV format for the digital frontier, for the internet frontier, which I think is cool. So you'll see more about Paradigm Shift TV in the future. But yeah. Cool. Okay, so just going back to the intentions thing, and then we'll wrap up within the next like couple minutes. Shane or Brianna, did you guys want to share any intentions that you have for the next week? And then maybe Maria, if you want to write your intentions into the side chat, we'll read those out loud.
Ladies first.
Shane, you say that every time. I thought you had a script ready, Shane.
I need time to think.
At least you're honest.
Touche. Alright, so the intention I would like to put forth is to find the stillness, to find the quiet in the meditation, and go there often, because there one can find solace and creativity. And those are two very powerful weapons. Namaste!
Namaste. Namaste. So shifty, my friends. Cool. Stay shifty. All right. Does Maria post with me, sweetheart? Some links to my stuff too, just in case. Maria posted some links to her stuff. Where did I not see those yet? Or those redirecting? Shane, you're next.
Yeah, no, I think my intention would be, this is like a worldwide intention for people who like say for instance with people who are vegan, if somebody isn't vegan, my intention would be that that person who isn't vegan understands it better and like is more open to it, rather than the typical response being, "Oh, I couldn't give up bacon. I don't know why you do it. I couldn't get up. I just couldn't go without bacon. I don't know why you do it." I'd ask for that for the person. I'd ask for the people asking questions to be more open-minded to the answer.
Cool, cool, awesome.
Yes.
Yes. That wasn't weird at all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sometimes you just gotta eat what your spirit tells you to eat. That's what I heard before.
I'm going to make a video about the conscious impact of eating, supported by Michael Pollan and several other food authors. The end.
That would be perfect. That sounds like wonderful content for Paradigm Shift Central. That could be turned into a little article. Potentially. So.
Do you know what I wanted to ask you, Skull? Because I haven't known and I've always wanted to know for years.
Sure.
What is a neo-gonzo journalist?
Oh, yeah, no problem. So, have you ever heard the term gonzo journalist?
No, never.
Gonzo journalist basically means a journalist who reports on a story and includes themselves as part of the story. So instead of just being like, today at the local supermarket, people were getting discount prices, da 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 da, it would be like, hi, I'm at the local supermarket and I'm going to get discount prices. Like, this is my experience of the story. That's what a gonzo journalist is. So it's bringing it more from into like that personal, subjective yet still objective perspective. And then neo just sort of refers to like new. So neo gonzo. It actually, my inspiration goes back to a graphic novel called Transmetropolitan. Oh, got it. There it is. This is for people on video. This is the comic Transmetropolitan, and the character in it is named Spider Jerusalem, and it takes place in the future, and it's like this like crazy like dystopian future and everything, and there's like aliens and stuff, and like cats with like two faces and stuff like that you can see. But yeah, it's basically like he's like, it's like a superhero comic, and he's a superhero, but his superpower is just him being a gonzo journalist. That's it. So there's like all this stuff about how there's like corrupted politicians or like people with scandals and everything, and then he'll use his journalism powers to like help expel the truth and to help like right the wrong and everything. So that's honestly my inspiration behind the gonzo journalism story, is using the media to help like tell certain stories that I feel are important, or help like sway certain realities towards new directions and everything, and help encourage people. So yeah, that's what a neo-gonzo journalist is all about. Does that answer your question, Shane?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely. Nice one.
Cool. So yeah, so again, you know, like with the whole Paradigm Shift Central project, like that's where it's me creating the platform and creating the game so that you guys can practice being gonzo journalists and doing it through a platform that's like encouraged and designed for it. So that's like, yeah, really cool.
Well, just for myself, well, I mean, so far as what I'm majoring in college, I just finished my first semester. I had quite a strict teacher, so it was kind of like one of those teachers where it's just kind of like, I want to do good, but just so she'll kind of like leave me alone, kind of thing. And she gave me like a 87 on my Carl Jung paper. So it was like, wow, I wasn't even expecting that. But it's like, I could definitely use writing as a medium of definitely, you know, conveying information or writing about. I mean, I love to write.
Mm-hmm.
Video making is a new thing to me, even though I've been doing it quite a while, but it just hasn't been like, you know, professional quality videos.
Yeah.
Can you write skits and stuff? Because that would be cool.
Yeah, writing is something that, again, you know, like I definitely want to get more into. Like Oh my god, like guys, like that's the thing. Like I have literally like an infinite supply of like media to put out. In addition to like the probably 50 plus videos that I have like just not uploaded yet that I have like partially edited or somewhat or like fully edited and literally there's like there's okay like I have like an interview with DubFX that I haven't uploaded yet because I'm waiting until I finish building the website until I upload it. So I mean, and there's like videos of other free hug adventures that I did like from literally over a year ago and everything that I just haven't uploaded yet, that I'm going to be uploading again. You know, like that's the thing. Like everything old becomes new again through the power of the internet and stuff. So even if the event took place a year ago, I can put together this video for the internet, and then if it's about promoting like free hugs and stuff, people see that now, and suddenly like free hugs is like back on the radar and everything. So again, you know, it's using that ammunition wisely and stuff. But I was just gonna say, like the writing side of things is something I definitely want to get more into. And that's something that I really want to explore because again, you know, like studying all of the other the popular conscious Facebook pages, you know, studying them, like what can we learn? We can see that articles become very successful. Sometimes I think people share articles before they even read them, you know, like, and I think that's actually sort of like a bad habit that we sort of see is that articles become memes in themselves. And again, you know, people share things because they want them to reflect a part of themselves. So like if somebody shares like a video of like 7 ways to become more conscious, then like their ego is sort of creating this illusion where when they see that, they're like feeling as if other people are seeing them as like a conscious advocator, and it makes them feel like that's like part of their identity is becoming more conscious. You know, in the same way, to sort of simplify it with other social media, you know, if people see something funny, they share something, and then they'll do that, so their friends will think that they're funny because they shared something funny. So you become associated with what you share. So then in that sense, we can really formulate like what is it that we want to share, you know. And then for example, like one thing, I talked to Rainey about this, who was in here earlier. Rainey is like our friend who's like really into veganism, and he's like made some videos and stuff. You know, I said like, let's put together an article about like, you know, like 5 ways that eating fruit is healthy, or five ways that like being a vegan is sexy, or something like that, you know. So it's sort of like playing with the clickbait mentality, but like actually getting into like the real content of it. So I mean, you know, just going back to my main point, like the videos are super valuable, but sometimes a well-written article piece is like even has the capability to like go even further sometimes, and sometimes it's not even like super far. Like, okay, like for example, like I saw an article not too long ago about like 7 ways that you can get real life Jedi abilities or something like that. It was something like that, and it was posted on the Mind Unleashed, and it was actually written by a girl who used to write for Spirit Science, but I'm not sure if she's actually with Spirit Science anymore because Jordan probably like freaked out on her and made her like get fired or something like that. I don't know how it works, but
We're still live.
what? What'd you say, Brianna?
I was like, are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. So, but I was just saying though, you know, like, so like I did a video with sort of like a similar theme related to like conscious themes within Star Wars and stuff like that. And then she sort of wrote this article, and I like went over the article, and like it wasn't very well written, like, to be honest. It just like it was there, but like it never really got into detail. It just sort of like hits across like general topics, and it didn't really have too much practical information about it. You would think that there would be like a good practical way to sort of get into that topic, but again, you know, like people liked the idea of it, and that is why they shared it. Yeah, like, you know, like, and that's a common thing that happens with Spirit Science. They're just like, oh, I like the idea of this article, and then people share it. Meanwhile, the article itself could be like half-assed or something like that, right? So
see, I'm like kind of one of those people that's like, if I'm gonna, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. Let's go.
I was saying, like, I'm like kind of one of those people. If I read the articles, like, I'm the type of person that's like, okay, like, how do we do this? You know, now I'll try stuff out and kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, I guess some people just like the idea of, or it sounds nice, I guess. You know.
Yeah. it's really interesting. Like that's why I'm super interested in the whole social media thing, because it's all about like there's this whole psychology to it. But again, in terms of the Paradigm Shift Central game aspect of it, like how do you play the game? You play the game by creating media and then seeing how far it can get out there. And that's how you like measure your score. So again, like within the Paradigm Shift Central website, like I can show a thing on each page that says how many times people have viewed the page, which is actually more accurate than what like Facebook information gives us. It's actually like telling us how many unique viewers there are. So again, like that is how you play. Like you create like a cool entry for Paradigm Shift, and then you share it, and then you see those numbers go up and stuff like that, and like that's just like part of it and everything. So again, like the psychology behind what gets things out there is really, really fascinating to me. And again, like that's where even the short image memes, we're gonna start making more of those, and again, I'd love your guys' help with that, like short, like one-liner inspirational quotes, whether they're your quote or whether they're from something else, and then putting those into an image and then putting that out there. Like just think of it as like it's like a snack, like a spiritual snack or something like that, right? Like it's kind of just like something where you just like take like a little bite and you're just like, oh, like that's and it can be like a really good reminder. It can be just like kind of like a thought-provoking idea and stuff. So again, like there's so many different ways for us to be able to build the audience, and that's where like I'll be working on that. And again, I'll invite you guys to be able to contribute to that as we meme-ize things some more. But yeah, like it's not just videos. It's totally like multifaceted. And again, and then there's like the Hangouts and stuff too. Like this is a media form in itself too. So a 4-hour long media format. I don't know when this podcast started, but we should probably wrap it up. But it's cool. Yeah. I just want to say, like, on the website, guys, one of the things I sort of mentioned to it, again, so one of the things that I updated is that I added, like, the main HUD to the website. So a HUD is, like, reference to video game terminology, which is a heads-up display. So your HUD is underneath the banner, and that's kind of got, like, a mini version of important information. So it's got, like, your recent Central News, Quest, Journals, Conscious articles, and it's only showing, like, the top one of each in one spot, because you do see them as you scroll further down. And then you have your new shift missions, which I'm going to be updating soon, and some of those shift missions might be as simple as create your first Quest journal entry, and it might be something, like go out and start a conversation with a stranger and sort of thing. And we're going to set it up so that when you complete a shift mission, you click a button, and then I get notified, and then we're going to tally that, and then like that will actually turn into a reward system that will allow you to like get more shift buttons in the future. So like shift buttons are like your like coins that you earn through Paradigm Shift, and you can also purchase them as well. But the other thing I was just pointing out is the map. The map on the HUD is really cool. So like right now, I can actually see like where people are tuning in from, and I can see there's like someone up in like northern Canada who is listening to this right now, who's probably hearing me talking about them right now. And if I were to just like check in on this, I can't. Where is that? That is in last preview in Manitoba. That looks way too north to be Manitoba. I don't know why it's showing it as north as Manitoba, but yeah, like I can see there's somebody from there. I can see there's somebody in Indiana, I think, London, which is me. There's somebody in Connecticut, and then there's somebody in the UK, which is Shane. So again, you can see this map. The map isn't like revealing exact locations, but it is kind of neat when we can sort of like look at that, plus underneath it says how many people are online, and then we can use the live chat to sort of correspond with that to sort of like get an idea of like where people are connecting from, and then that map is also like a recording, a piece of information to record like how much like our stuff is actually like reaching other people and everything. And again, like a big part of like when we're creating the media for this website is that we're not just creating it just so it like gets out there and then people watch it and then they never stick around or whatever. We want people to be engaged with this community. We want them to see this community as something that they can be involved with. So like that means like inviting people to be involved in Hangout. So I mean that's the thing, like I'm going to be releasing a video, and then that video is going to reach some person, and then that person is going to join us in the next team building Hangout, and then they're going to get inspired, and then they're going to create a physical paradigm shift community where they are, and then that physical paradigm shift community is going to connect them with a bunch of people, and then like that's actually going to turn into like this real life ripple. So you can see like the website is a means to an end, but it's not even an end, and the media is like a means to something more. It doesn't end just where like the article ends or the video ends. You know, it's more so than anything about the community building. Like that is like what I would emphasize as being like the most important part, and I feel is like one of the things that is more valuable within Paradigm Shift and more prevalent than in other communities is that most communities people just comment on Facebook posts, they're viewers, but they're not actively participating in the creation process. So this is like encouraging people to be more active in the creation process and to be able to engage with the community, and again to like develop like real world friendships and to do this as a team. You know, like really emphasizing the team aspect of it. So. Yeah,
Y'all
those are
ready
some
for
of the
this?
things. Y'all ready for this? It's funny because as much as we want to try, we can't actually sing along properly in this Google Hangout because there's like a 1 second lag delay. So even though if it sounds like I'm singing along to Rihanna, it's not going to sound like I'm singing along, and to the audience, it's just going to be like dun 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 dun. It's just like Space Jam.
To you, it sounds like you're in time with Brianna, but
that's
to
what
everyone
I mean.
else, it's like
it's like this nice. So maybe if we all intentionally put ourselves out of sync, then it will like harmonize into a new song. So let's all try that. Let's everybody scat right now. So see what about that?
Trees are green, red roses too. I see them blue.
We're getting into the doo-wops there.
The doo-wops, yeah. I think Maria's adding into that too. So, we'll do a special team hangout that'll just be like sing-along themed and stuff. We'll do that. Now, I want to do one that'll actually be like book sharing themed. Again, you know, kind of simulating the physical paradigm shift meetings that we have as well. So, yeah, cool. Okay, so
I was going to say, go. Just two things. The first one is if anyone ever just wants to come to the UK to see me, that's fine. I don't mind at all. Just come on over.
Sure.
The other thing is, you know, like your meetings you have in London, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you reckon I could ever virtually be there for one?
Well, that's what I'm working with the 3D camera, right? I can't promise that it will be live. I don't think this thing works live yet. But yeah, like you'll virtually be able to be in the meetings with a 3D camera and stuff.
No, I mean like literally if I like Skyped in.
Skyped in? Yes and no. Only reason is just because the internet isn't the best in the location that we're in. So if I were to get like a hotspot adapter, then I could do it, but then it would be using data. So
that's fair enough.
But yeah, totally. Down the road, like eventually I'll just like do like a completely, this would be so retarded, but like a completely like virtually simulated meeting where it would be like some physical people and then like 12 laptops all looking at each other in a circle. Just be like so like redundant, but why are we just all on Skype in the same session? Like I don't
Well,
know.
you could have a hangout, right, with 10 people in it, but then on each different screen a different person. But then people are in the same hangout.
Each one's like more people and stuff. Yeah.
And they're all on Skype.
I definitely do want to, again, you know, like part of the things I just got to be very patient with creating this project because, you know, again, like down the road, one of the big things that I want to do is like encouraging people and giving them instructions and tutorials on how to create the physical paradigm shift communities. So I have to like remake a lot of that tutorial information so that it's like streamlined and up to date. But like once it's there, like that'll be like super valuable for people as well. So yeah.
Well, you've got us, so if you need any help, let us know.
Totally, and I do want to be able to utilize that as well. A lot of the stuff is like back-end stuff, but yeah, like I'll definitely take you guys up on that. One thing, again, you know, like in terms of like how you can help, like as sort of like trivial as it sounds, but like if you guys are able to support my Patreon, like that is like a super effective way, because again, you know, like the Patreon thing is like donating a couple dollars a month, and then the theory is that, you know, the concept is that, you know, if we get a bunch of people all donating a couple dollars a month, then that allows me to be able to continue to do this as a career. But like, you don't even have to think of it as like paying me, like, you know, it's all just like an energy thing, but it really is like this idea, because it's like, as I become sustained, the project becomes sustained in that sense, and more so than anything, it's also to be able to invest funds towards the traveling part of the project. So like, that's like a big thing. So like, yeah, like Shane, like down the road, it's my plans to like travel to the UK and everything like that. But in order for that to happen, like, I have to succeed at my Patreon first. It would be like unwise of me to do it without having done that. So like, I have to do this in steps, and like, and that will be my reward, is to like do the amazing traveling and stuff. So you have to understand, like, just to give you guys some perspective, from my perspective, really what I'm trying to do here with this project in terms of commerce is to like really earn the loyalty of people in the community, to like get them to be willing to invest themselves financially in what it is that I'm doing, because they trust in like my integrity, and they share a common interest in my vision, and they see the value that they get out of investing in what it is that I'm doing. So like, that's kind of like a big part of this entrepreneur thing, because this is an entrepreneur project, and I am determined to like prove it to my mom that I can do it, because she like had another conversation with me. She's like, so when are you gonna like start looking for another job? Like, how long are you gonna do this until you like decide that it's not working? I'm just like, it will work this time, Mom. It will work this time. She's like, that's what you said the 5 other times. But I'm like, but it's different this time. It's different. It is different.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and again, you know, like, honestly, guys, like, the buttons thing, like, you guys could create a job for yourself as buttons. Like, honestly, like, if you were to spend like $100 investment in buying shift buttons, you could like triple or quadruple that investment by selling those buttons, like, as like a part-time job, kind of like around your community, and putting them in stores and stuff like that. Like, the buttons are actually this weird hack within the Matrix, where I'm selling them at a bulk price, but they actually have a real-world value of like more than what it is that we're selling them for. So like, you guys could become buttoneers simply by like investing in this. So like, it's really interesting. The buttons are this really like interesting hack. Like, they're I basically,
girls.
yeah, you can use them to like give to girls and give to guys and stuff, and make new friends and everything. But yeah, like, we're pretty much printing our own money with buttons, and the money has like a website on it, which links people back to this. And another thing that I want to do is, when people visit the website in the future, there will be the option for them to say, like, did somebody give you this button? If so, enter their name here. And then every time someone enters your name, that tallies up to your information. So then, like, as people do that, they'll like get some sort of like bonus point, and then that will add up towards something. I just think it's like an interesting way to actually be able to keep track of, again, like, real world points in that sense. So, you know, like, that's your objective, is to like get people to visit the website, and for them to like leave your name in the entry sort of thing. So you can be like, so literally you can be like documented and be like, wow, you know, like 50 different people have like entered, like, you know, like Brianna or Michael's name through going to the website. Like, that's like showing that like they're actually doing something, and those 50 people are like, that's like, again, that's like real world changes and stuff. Because again, you know, like, when they go to the website, it's more than just like some fancy website. Like, it's knowledge and information and inspiration and community. What does that say, Brianna? Life is a video game. Unlock your, it got all fuzzy. Unlock your genes. Unlock upgrades.
It says,
unlock your genes. Didn't even realize. I was thinking like genetics.
I was wondering what you're thinking.
Oh, GENES.
New character outfits and skins.
Oh yeah.
You know, like upgrades. So
Totally.
You get upgrades, you get like new swords, or like the cloak of darkness, or something cool.
Cloak of darkness. Totally. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, this is like a calling card. Okay, I'm just going to go back to Maria, because she was typing in the chat, and she said about intentions. She said, my intention is to get more involved been on this with this community, and help others, since I've been on this journey since I was 14, but still learning. So yeah, that is awesome. More community stuff. Shane, what did you post an image link for? Oh yeah, one does not. Boromir chiming in. One does not just share an article before reading its content. Did you make that just now or something?
Yeah. As we were sat, I just went
That's
to a
funny.
website where you could make memes, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Me. Cool. Awesome. Okay. My intentions to wrap up this video that is now, oh my god, every half hour it's just like, oh yeah, one more half hour, and it's 5 a.m. and it's 7 a.m. where Shane is.
It's 6, but you were
6
close.
a.m. It's gonna be 7 a.m. soon enough if we don't wrap this up. Okay, so my intentions, practically in terms of the Paradigm Shift, okay, outside of the Paradigm Shift Central project, my intentions are to make sure that I get in my like workouts and stretches and exercise. It's a common thing for me to like toss up workout time to do website time, and I just need to make sure I'm balancing that, or at the very least, get into doing micro exercises throughout the day. Technically, you only need to work out 15 minutes a day, like in a good like workout method. So I'm just gonna like make sure that I stand up every hour or something and do some simple stretches and stuff, and just make sure that I'm moving. It's way too easy to just get stuck in a chair. So I just want to make sure that like I'm honoring my body, because I know that like it's sort of, I feel it and stuff if I don't. And yeah, so I just want to be able to do that. Other intentions: catch a sunrise. Might need some help on that. There's a event coming up in the community this Sunday. It's the Spirituality Expo. We've done it here in London for like 5 years. Paradigm Shift has been involved with it for 4 years. I'm pretty excited about that. So like my intention towards that is like going in and like connecting with more people in the community. Like that's gonna be really cool. It's like a bunch of workshops and tables related to spiritual conscious communities and services, and so we're going to have our Paradigm Shift London table and have like our shift buttons on there and invites to the meetups and other like cool stuff like singing bowls and cool books, and be there for people to talk to and everything. So it'll be my intention to like connect with more people there as well. Like there's always more people to connect to in my community. Like it's crazy just to think of it, just be like, like I'd love to go find more people to invite to the Paradigm Shift meeting, but how do I do it? Oh, I know how. Go downtown, do free hugs, hand out shift buttons. Ta-da! Like that's it. That's what I have to do. It's just a matter of doing it and stuff. So, yeah.
When you first started doing the free hugs, how was that experience? Curious.
Yeah, that was back in like 2011 that I started doing that to begin with and stuff, and it was cool because I mean like part of it was like it really started off kind of like with like this like sort of very tactical intention towards like specific seed planting and everything. So like and it was also like the conscious sign holding that we have. Like there's like old pictures that me and my buddies have from 2011 that I'll repost. But it's actually like us with like half masks, so like ninja masks on, and then we're like holding up a sign that says like open your heart. So like imagine if a car goes by and it sees like, nowadays it might be a little bit different, I don't know, but it sees like two people and they're like questionably like terrorists or something, but then they have this sign that says like open your heart and stuff. So just like and when you see like, and you're standing on the side of a road and like every single car that drives by like sees that, it's just like, for me it's just like really interesting thinking about the novelty that like brings into the reality, where it's just like all those people seeing it, all those conscious eyes observing it, and what that does and stuff. So yeah, I mean like the free hugs experience has always been great. And again, like sometimes the hugs are just a hug, and then sometimes the hugs turn into like a conversation, and then sometimes that conversation turns into like a real world friendship. So like there's regular hugs, and then there's like hugs 2.0s and stuff. Is Brianna leaving?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should all just turn this off. So. Okay, so my intention is to like upload the Star Wars video, 7 conscious themes within The Force Awakens, to upload the 2006 Evolution Challenge of Feeling More, to upgrade a little bit more of the website, to get you guys on board with all that stuff, and to go outside and get some fresh air every now and then. So that's an important thing.
That's a good one.
And to spend time with my dogs, because like my dog, like Shelby, he's getting old and stuff, and he's been like old for like a few years now. But I just want to make sure that I remind them that they are loved. So showing love towards animals,
Pets.
and
Yeah.
friends and family is important. Reminding people that we are grateful for them, I think, is a good intention for all of us, because it's so easy to like not do that. But it's a big, like, that's a really simple way to like shift paradigms. It's just like showing love towards people, as simple as it sounds, reminding them that we love them and we care about them every day, whenever. So
Yeah, that's
yeah. Cool. Okay, so with that said, we'll wrap up this broadcast. And again, you know, for people listening to this, Maria's tapping her red
There's no
ruby
place like
shoes.
home.
No place like home. Cool.
no place like.
There's no place like now. There's no place like now. Yeah, so we'll wrap this up, and in terms of the future, just if people are listening to this and they're not signed up for the website, sign up today at paradigmcentral.com and practice creating your first quest journal. Stay tuned for more updates. Stay tuned for stuff. Add your email into the box to the top to get notifications. And yeah, lots of good stuff. And again, you know, like your shift mission for now is to like go out there and have a conversation about shifty stuff with maybe a friend or a stranger. That's very broad. So go do shifty stuff. That's your mission. So whatever that means to you. But yeah, and we'll definitely touch base again in the near future, and we should be doing another hangout this Wednesday unless we hear otherwise. I may change it to Thursday again. We'll see. We'll see. But thank you so much, you guys, for being here and doing this together.
Thanks, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, man. It's good to see all you guys, and you know, team building. You guys are doing awesome, so thanks so much for being a part.
Obviously, a big thank you to our host, the sexy Dr. Phil.
I'll take whatever compliment I can get.
You should have a salute.
I don't think I'm as I'll do salutes. I was gonna say I don't think I'm as cute as Dr. Phil though. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys. Brianna, thanks for being here. And thanks for doing all you do, Maria.
Yo, Kai.
Thank you, Shane. Good to see you again. Long lost
Yeah, it was.
I will meet you in person someday, Shane. I shall come over to the UK.
It is happening.
Mm-hmm. From London to London. So.
Like, when I'm
see how Hogwarts looks like.
What's that, Michael?
I want to see how Hogwarts looks like.
Yeah.
Just to be in that. That's got to be awesome.
I hate to tell you guys, it doesn't exist.
Not even no.
The castle that it was based on exists in Scotland, but the majority of the scenes were all made.
Oh wow!
Sorry.
well, people have tried to recreate it. Yeah, people have tried to recreate it and have done quite a cool job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Cool.
if you see like that new iPhone 6. There's like an option on it, like you take a picture and you click on it and you see the thing moving.
Oh, crazy.
It's like,
you mean like 3D touch?
Kind of, almost. It's like you take a picture of something like, say this banana, you know, see it moving.
Is that a banana phone?
Like,
ring, banana phone.
Yeah. You would see it moving. You just take a picture, and
right.
if you put your finger on it, you would see it moving.
Oh, I got it. You ready? Watch. It does work. See if I get it to work.
What are you doing, Shane?
I've got the phone.
Oh, you have iPhone 6?
Dude,
yeah, I've got the.
Shane, your fingernails are so sparkly.
Oh, why is it working? Thanks, by the way.
Wait, is that the iPhone 6?
Maria's showing off her
It's the 6S Plus, but it's not working.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just take a picture and then.
Okay. All right. We'll figure out. I was just gonna say. I think we'll figure out the tech support stuff on. Off. Just like, okay, go to your start menu. No, yeah, then you open up the run folder. No. Select only, search all items. Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, again, for everybody listening, to sign up for the website if you haven't yet. Support my Patreon when you're able to. A couple dollars a month will get you 25% bonus on shift button orders, all that good stuff. Subscribe on my YouTube at youtube.com. Explore the website if you haven't checked it out recently, and go back and listen to past episodes. They're all available through the website as well. So thousands and thousands of paradigm shifty goodness hours available to you. And I can hear my dog barking downstairs, so I'm going to go give him some attention. But yeah, so guys, let's say goodbye to the internet, and I'll hit the stop broadcast button. So until next time, internets, we salute you, we see you, we love you. Hearts from everyone across the board. Yes, totally.
Spread love.
All right, good night, guys. Until next time, we'll see you in the future.
Night.
Keep it shifty.
Thanks for hanging out, bro.
Peace out.